what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV live, which means we're alive, we're breathing, all right? Hey, let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, we are in a new week, okay? Glad to be here. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here. Okay, so we tossed this around. One of the panel members had tossed us around for a moment, and I think it's good to talk about. Um, we're going to dig into interracial relationships. And when we say relationships, it's not just the couples or boyfriend and girlfriend. It's everyday relationships. You might have a friend who's of a different race or whatever. How do these how are these different situations judged by society? How do you feel about them? Okay, what happens when what are some of the issues that you face? What about the kids when you come in? What about the kids? Want to welcome Samantha J.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Greg. How are you today? Good to
Oh,
see you.
good to see you as well. My man, the life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah.
Hey, coach.
I can see right now we're gonna have to make sure the coach get his in. Okay, so coach,
Yeah.
right off the bat, brother. Okay, give me a couple of minutes on this subject, man. We need to throw some life coaching in it.
All right. So no, it was about interracial relationships, right?
That's correct, sir.
Different type of impacts they have on like culture and everything like that, and with how people view it, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the whole deal is, man, with what I've noticed with interracial dating and relationships, even marriages, man. What you see is you see a dynamic where two cultures are now coming together, and they gotta see how they can become one. You know, just as two people are to become one, you know, you adopt each other's lives, families, all the above. But now what happens is now you have two completely different cultures. And let's just be realistic. A lot of that is black and white here in America. You know, we still have black and Asian, or white and Asian, or black and Hispanic, white and Hispanic. But for the big majority of the country, it's black and white. So you start to ask
Right.
yourself, you know, how do we do this? You know, how do we bring a child into the world? How do we what side do we teach the child? You know what I mean? The black or the
Mhm.
white side? Is my child gonna go to school, or is he gonna be seen as by his black peers? Is he talking to white? Because that's how I choose to teach my child how to speak the English language. Is he not black enough because he don't like greens or potato salad? But it's funny, we can laugh about this stuff, but this is
Right.
real. You know, this is stuff that people really go through, yo. And when you talk to the kids, they refer to them as mulatto babies, you know, get the little mulatto babies, the little mixed children, you know. When you actually look at it, these are certain struggles that they have to go through. They have to figure out which side they identify with. So, you know, when we look at the interracial relationship, we can't
Mhm.
just focus on one thing. We got to hit it all around as a whole. How it hits with individual person, how they feel about the opposite sex, and then, you know, once they do choose to date each other, you know, the type of things they have to face in the world, because there's still racist people here. I don't care how you skin the cat, you know what I mean? You kind of look at it, dissect it, however, still people in the world who just believe you can't love who you want to love, but you got to stay within inside the race. And then that's a whole nother topic too. When you start talking about black people, you know, how we feel about our own family dynamic and our own structure, you know what I mean? I feel that love is love. But
Yeah.
personally, in my viewpoint, you know, this is Life Coach Jeff's opinion. I date within my race because I see the struggles within my race, and I want to go ahead and some stuff change. You know, I want to use my story of what me and my fiance are going to go through to help other people. We want to
Mhm.
help change generational curses, different things. We want to show other black people that it's possible and it's okay to identify those things.
That makes a whole lot of sense, man. So, as we're talking about this, man, one thing that came to my mind is, and Samantha and I were talking about this before the show, um,
Hmm.
the kids. The kids. When you
Yep.
go into this interracial relationship, I know you're going into it. When people go into it, they probably know that there's going to be a struggle, okay? But once they get down the line and maybe they start having kids, do you think that they consciously think about what's the impact on the kids once they're born and once they get to a school age?
No, because you got to remember when two people in a relationship, it's about them two at first. You know, they talk about having kids later on. You know, it's interesting. Rarely do people like, for instance, this me and Megan. We had a topic of conversation that y'all will learn about a little later on as the time go, maybe a couple months or so. But it's something we had to consider with our child. You know what I mean? What
Mm-hmm.
we have is 50% chance of something. You know what I mean? So this is something, but this is something we talked about before. You know what I mean? And it's funny because a lot of people be so caught up in love and different stuff like that. We don't like to have those hard hidden conversations that can actually impact the child's
Mm-hmm.
life. So then when we reach those situations, we like to say we always go, we'll address it when we get there. But at least start playing it in your head and thinking about how you want the different things you want to say to your child, how you want to navigate it. Just don't wait till you know what I mean? The situation comes up.
Yeah, because I know they're going to have questions. Once they go to
Oh, yeah.
school, they'll have questions. And Samantha, you can jump in anytime. They have questions, because people at school start saying something about this, their hair,
Yes.
and different things. All right. How do you answer your child when they have those questions?
What you do is you got to ask the child, how do you feel? Who do you think you are? You know what I mean? When they get of age, when they're younger, it's kind of tough. But as they start to get a little older, you know what I mean? They start coming to you and saying, well, mommy, daddy, this person asked about my skin color. This person asked about my hair. I didn't know what to say. It's how you raise that child. You train them to love themselves. You know what I mean? Because if they
Yeah.
can't love themselves, they're gonna go out there and always believe they have to belong to the social and racial stigma of what an interracial child is supposed to do or how he's supposed to act or being between and confused. No, you should be able to know who you are, love who you are.
Yeah, they shouldn't have to feel like they're different. Am I right, Samantha?
You and that was what I was thinking, that it's okay to be different, because if we all look at ourselves, it may not be into a multiracial person, but you may have had something that was different about you in school that caused you to be looked at differently, because I did. So it was like the fact that I had parents at home that were affirming, that did not reject me, that let me know that you were wanted. We love you. So that helped when the outside rejection came.
Yeah.
There was something there to bounce off of. There was a shield, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
of the darts of rejection that will come from outside entities, whether it was children or adults, because I've
Mm.
had both. So that parent, yes, you're right, coach, that what those parents are putting, how they're affirming that child. It's like, okay, yes, one of your parents is white and one of your parents is black. We love you, and it's okay to be who you are and be comfortable in your skin.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I know, and I'm gonna bring on Ujimar. Everybody say what's up to Uji.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
OG,
power to the people.
good to see you.
Oh, gee.
People, let's give it to him, y'all. But I know, and this is my little brother, by the way, so I can speak on this. He has dated damn near every race there is. For real. I mean, and he's smiling over there, but I'm not lying. Okay, he's had Cuban, he's had white, he's had black, he's had Puerto Rican. I can't even think about the Neapolitan that this guy's had. Okay, but and I know, hey Patty, I know you can speak on what we're talking about, man, as far as interracial, not only relationships, because he's had friends of various ethnicities as well. And we're talking about how does society view this now as opposed to back in the 50s and 60s. Is it any different? Do you still have those stigmas? Do you still get looked at? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I was just listening to the radio the other day, and what's that? Who was that? Alfonso. He was talking about, Alfonso
Ribeiro.
Ribeiro. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about he has a white wife,
Right.
but he said he didn't get the support that he felt like he should have
Mm-hmm.
from the black community and from the different entertainers and stars at the same time. And to me, I mean, it's been so long. I can remember watching different shows or hearing about back in the day. Even as far as just growing up, when I brought a white girl to the house,
Ha!
my mama said, "You brought her
What you
over
doing?
here? We got neighbors."
Yeah,
And
she sure
things of
did.
that nature. You know
She
what I'm
sure did.
saying? That's what was told to me. You know what I'm saying about me bringing this white woman to the crib. Like Greg said, I've dated pretty much
Everybody.
everybody. Chinese, uh, man. I mean, the list is so long of different races that I've dated, and I didn't see nothing different. I liked them. You know what I'm saying? I felt good about it. I dated them if they had a good personality or whatever it was that was good on them. I enjoyed myself with them for whatever
Exactly.
period of time I was with them. But as far as back in the day and today now, I feel like things were a lot worse back then. The people that's complaining now, I think that they got. I mean, you always gonna get looked at. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna get looked at. Period. Because I mean, you could be a beautiful couple. You don't know what you get looked at for. All right. You don't know why people is looking strange at you or this, that, and the other. Some people do have those stigmas on he he should be his handsome black butt should be with a black woman or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But you never know what people go through. It's all about how a person treats you. I feel like everybody. That's what I feel like. I feel like everybody's human, and if you like somebody, you know what I'm saying, you can go for it. You ain't gotta not like a great person because they're not the same race.
And I don't think it should really make a difference. You love who you love, okay? And uh everybody welcome Marcella and Gina to the show, by the
All
way.
right, people.
Hello.
All right.
Hey, what's going on,
I
y'all?
just, I just think you should love who you love. And I want to get the life coach in as much as possible because I know he's at work and he's got some, get some things in. But how do you feel about what Ujima said? Because I think it's pretty relevant because it is different from way back in the day, but how different is it? Because out back in the day, it was out there. They didn't have a problem saying it, okay? But I think it's still deep, but people aren't saying as much as they want, as much as they want to put it out there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we in the age now where we don't want to offend people. You know what I mean? This is the with so many different, I guess, classifications of people and j- just everything. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? We just don't want to offend everybody. So a lot of times people are more quiet. You know what I mean? I believe it's a mindset. You know what I mean? A lot of
Mhm.
that is a mindset. A lot of times we don't believe that we can carry on a mindset into our way of thinking for generations through the lineage. You know what I mean? Like you hear people say, "Oh, you just like your daddy, or you just like your great grandfather, you just like your grandmother, or you just like your great aunt on such and such side." You know, we tend to think that we don't resemble our ancestors, but we do. It's just not in culture, but it's also in how we think. You know what I mean? So, like I alluded to earlier, like when you go ahead and you think of the social stigmas about the what am I trying to say? The Jesus, the generational curse. You know, gotta break that. You know.
Yeah. And OJ, I want you to comment a little bit more. I know you got things that you're doing as well, so we want to get you both involved as much as possible. And Gina, Marcella, Samantha, you all get in when you can. But OJ, in the entertainment field, you had, like I said, a cornucopia of different colored women. Okay, do you think that it kind of loosened you up a little bit as far as that goes, and or is it just the too much of that going on in there? And how do you perceive when you were out there? How did you look at these women? Did you look for when you looked for? Because Samantha and I talked about this earlier too. When you're looking for, or not necessarily looking for, but when you get a person of another ethnicity, are you as a man looking for the big bud, the nice tatas, pretty face or whatever, or are you trying to look for somebody you can talk to? And then the women, I want y'all to answer. And Samantha, we talked about that again earlier. What do you got if it's a white woman? Just put yourself in a white woman's place. Are you looking for the shoe size, and then you're gonna say, well, hey, if it's a black man and his shoe is a size 14, then hey, go ahead, Uji.
That's a myth.
Well, as far as me growing up the way I grew up, and we basically did entertainment all our life. You know what I'm saying? And me venturing out on my own different ordeals and ventures and meeting and running into people. I didn't just look for a big butt. I was, we as great boys, we was made to make good grades in school.
Right.
So we couldn't come home with nothing less than a B or A minus.
Yeah.
Like our whole life.
That's
right?
passport.
So with that being said, I like pretty girls. I like pretty girls, and I like them to have some kind of substance. I like for them to be a little smart. You know what I'm saying? That's what got me. That's what made me attracted to them. I mean, the pretty part and the smartness. It wasn't about if she could be pretty with a big butt or pretty with some big tatas or whatever, but that wasn't what I looked for. I looked for the pretty girl. She could be skinny. She could be a straight stick, but she was pretty. You know what I'm saying? And has some of this. All right. And that's what really actually was one of the main things that turned me on. That's why, the race part didn't really matter to me. I was in junior achievement. I was in junior achievement. I was president of my little group in junior achievement back in the day. And I met a Chinese girl. Her name was Nyung Tran. All right.
Bless
and, and she was extremely smart. She was real smart. She was in another junior achievement group. We met at the Hilton Hotel at a junior achievement conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, it was a bunch of women and stuff there, but she just stood out to be smart and had some good ideas. So, that's what I went for. That's who I went for at that point in time. I was in high school still.
There you go. Marcia, Gina, Samantha, what y'all think about the aspect of the women? What do you got? And what are you guys looking for? Say you went for a white guy. What would you be looking for? A flat ass and no shoes? I mean, but go ahead.
I dated out of my race few times, and it had nothing to do with their race, skin color, none of that. It was just someone I met in different places. One I was introduced to by a coworker and his wife, and it was just the person. I didn't, with my family,
100, Marcella, y'all can't.
I am with my family being like a smorgasbord. I was raised that we're all people. If you cut anyone from any race, we're going to still bleed red blood. So it had nothing to do. Actually, a couple of them I was just introduced by coworkers, and it was the person. It wasn't any, well, I got a couple of white friends and they weren't, I got a couple of black friends. I wasn't going out looking specifically for a white guy. It was just that we had mutual friends and we were introduced and we hit it off.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. Gina? I know, Gina, I'm looking like you, Gina.
I'm gonna be as honest as possible. I've never dated outside of my race. I've never met a white guy that I was attracted to. Never in my whole life. And I went to Ball State in the 80s where it was predominantly white. There were very few blacks there. And I did not date when I was there. I mean, that's just my preference. I'm not, it's just my preference. I don't know why I've never been attracted to a white guy. I just have never been attracted to a white guy. I've never seen one that I was like, ooh, he's nice looking. I just haven't.
But was it because of what we were not necessarily taught, but how we were brought up? You saw mom and dad, mom and dad black. Okay.
Yeah, but my mother, she didn't have any kind of she never, as I remember growing up, my mom never said anything negative about white people. My father, on the other hand, He couldn't stand them. I'm sorry, he could not. And he would say things at the table, and my mom would be like, "Close your ears. Stop saying that around the kids." He was he dealt with a lot of racism. He was the first black foreman in the steel mill, and at that time,
What about that?
They had that in common then, because my daddy didn't like white people either, and
yeah,
he was the first black foreman in the steel mill too.
And the 10
yeah,
years
look,
Yeah.
and the white people did not want to be supervised by a black supervisor.
Right.
They weren't open to that at the time, and so he just, he had to put his foot down all the time, and he would talk about it at the table. But I don't think that caused me to not want to date white men. I just, like I said, I've just never been attracted to them.
Okay, I mean, hey,
Well, check this out.
your own opinion.
You ever heard of? I know you guys have. You ever heard of Fear of a Black Planet?
The
No.
what?
Have you heard that statement before? Fear of a Black Planet.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what that means? That means that anything dipped in black turns black. Pretty much, it brings them closer to us. So that is a reason why a lot of different races don't like us, because our genes are extremely powerful. All right. That's why they look strange, because a lot of them try to keep theirs. But like you just witnessed with when George got killed by the police, it got stood on, his neck got stood on, and they rioted and everything. It was almost just as many white people out there as it was black people. And do you know why? Because their grandkids, their cousins and stuff like that got some black in them. And they love their grandchild or their cousin or their nephew or whatever it is. They actually love them, and they would hate to see that happen with them not knowing that they white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's what you call Fear of a Black Planet. All right.
But I've seen a lot of mixed kids, and they don't look like they got no black in them.
What was they mixed with?
Black.
Mm.
So not every black child, not every interracial couple, when they have children, it doesn't automatically mean their children are going to look like they're black.
Okay, well, their children might, but their children might.
Yeah,
They might.
that's true. Yeah,
They
You
may.
understand what I'm saying? It's
it
in
come
it's
down
in
through the
them.
generations.
Yeah, it's in them, most
Mhm.
definitely. Like
Mhm.
I got a buddy that he could pass for white, but both his parents was black.
But you know what? Even though I think things have really changed, like you said, back, oh my gosh, probably 20, 30 years ago, I don't think interracial couples could be as free as they are now. A lot of them kept it in the closet because it wasn't accepted, either by one of the families or, one of the races. But now it's a little bit different. But even with it being different, I still notice that when an interracial couple come in a room, how many people look up at them. And is it because they're trying to see okay, you got a white woman, is she at least attractive? Or, what attracted you to this black man? You still see those looks, even though people, I think they catch themselves and then it's like, it's okay. But initially, you'll see some people in the room look up to see this couple.
And my question,
Especially when it's a white woman and a black male, the looks aren't as
That's all right, don't worry about it.
prominent as when you see
a black
a
woman
white
with a
guy.
white man.
Correct, they're not
Mhm.
as bad as that. And speaking with some of my family members and friends today, they weren't able to come on, but something that they told me: you need to make sure that you know that you love this person, because they've had to choose between their family and that person that they fell in love with. And they've had to distance themselves from some family members. Everyone does not understand. I have issues with because of my family. And we're so used to how my family, like I said, it's a smorgasbord. We say we're gumbo. So I was raised like that. I was ostracized at times, like in elementary school and things, in junior high, because people wanted to know why I was always with this white man. And it didn't click. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? Well, you were at the grocery store, you were this. And then it hit me, oh, you're talking about my granddad. They're French Creole. And Greg, I think I sent you a picture. Did you get that picture of my
No,
grandfather?
I'm
Okay,
real,
I sent it.
I'm real
Okay,
late.
okay, but I gotten a picture. I'd sent him a picture of my grandfather, one of his brothers, and his two sisters. If you see that the picture with the four of them,
Hmm.
you would know why I was always asked, why are you always with a white guy? Um, and and so I was raised with some craziness, even within the black community, and I'm black. I'm African American.
And
You
it
kind
So
of
goes back.
you kind of real light.
it doesn't matter. You like it, you keep talking about me, Samantha.
Dr. Coach was saying earlier about the mindset and what listen to what Marcy's saying and what Gina's saying and what Uji's saying as well. That people's mindsets are different, whether you hear it at the dinner table or and what people have experienced in various places they've experienced racism. So it may become learned behavior for a child that's at the table listening to it. And then if that child brings home a person of another race, that parent may react in a certain way because they feel some kind of way about the people of that nationality because of the
Yeah.
experiences that they've had. Me, myself, I have not dated outside of my race. As I've my younger days, I said I don't want to date outside of my race. But as I've gotten older, I've opened up a little bit. My preference is to date inside of my race. But if I run across someone who is godly and love them some Sam,
There you go.
it's okay. When I see couples, and you're right, Marcella, it's different when you see a black man with a white woman versus
Mhm.
a black woman with a white man. Because I think in our back of our head as black women, we may be thinking, we already, we got a shortage already. Good black men. You just snatch one of them up. But my heart is like this: love who you love, regardless to what nationality they are, because you sometimes you can't always dictate who your heart is gonna love.
Mhm.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And you okay, you fell in love with somebody who's Creole, who's French,
Mhm.
who's black, who's Ethiopian. So and and that should be okay. But
It should be.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it really should be okay. And I was telling Greg earlier that when I've been in the store and I've seen a black man with a white woman, and it's almost like there's a feeling of they're expecting to get some type of negative response from a black woman. But my response is make it happen. You know, I don't care what color you are, but you love each other, go for it.
I
And
in
I
Arizona.
oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Marcy.
In Arizona in around 2014, 2015, when I was out there, where my sister lived, there were not a lot of us African Americans out there. And something I experienced, you saw a few from the universities out there, but from my experience, you see my skin complexion. The black guys that were dating the white women, if I pass by them in a grocery store or something, if you get eye to eye contact, I'm going to speak, hi, how are you, and keep stepping. But they would look at me and then like look me up and down. And I was dressed, and they would look like me head to toe, like I was a piece of poop, that they passed. And now that kind of made me feel some kind of way. Like, how dare you look at one of your sisters because you're with someone of a different race, thinking that, oh, because I'm with someone of a different race, that makes me better than you. And it happened a lot to the point where I almost bumped into an African American guy one time by himself. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me." We almost bumped carts in a Walmart. And he was like, "Hey." I was like, "Oh, you're speaking to me." And he looked, and I started laughing. I said, "I'm sorry. I've had so many negative responses since I've been here in Arizona." And he said, "Yeah, I'm speaking to you. You're one of my queens, or one of my sisters, like that." And I told him my experience, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what's been happening." And he was an older gentleman, and he was just saying sometimes when you are an African American and you're dating outside of your race as a African American male, sometimes they think that, oh, I got a trophy, I got something, I don't want a prize, so I'm going to look down or on other African Americans, and that, like, I have a family member that's I'm very close to, and all they used to date, whoa, all they used to date were women of other nationalities. And they made the comment, that made the wrong comment to me, and said, well, all African American women are trifling. And I
Are,
was like, is your
are
mama trifling? Are your siblings, are your sisters trifling? Are your grandmothers trifling? You're an African American young man. I want to say like 1201, a shade darker than midnight. And you had the audacity to talk about all African American women because of one issue you had with a relationship that you tried to have. And when you start unraveling that relationship, it was him that was wrong.
but you know what? There's the misnomer. A lot of people say this too. You know, especially some black men who date outside of the race, and this excludes you, Uji. That black women are too rough, man. They don't want to listen. They always arguing. They want to, they spend too much money. Okay, the white woman caters to the man. Okay, and let me ask you that, Uji. Does the white woman cater to the man? Is that what black men are thinking?
Yes. Yeah. It's a whole it's a different world. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, then what about the white man that has the black woman?
I'm not finished.
Oh,
I
I'm
said
sorry.
yes. It's a different world. It's a different world, most definitely, when you dating somebody of a different race, because they have their thoughts. They gotta learn you just like anybody else. But they got their thoughts about a bunch of things, and we got our thoughts about things too. You know what I'm saying? And when you find out that those things aren't really actually true, sometimes a lot of women, a lot of women, white women especially, they grew up by probably racist family members, all right, or with racist family members, and they actually don't feel the same way they do. But being that this was beaten into them, being that this was what they was told, as there's little different things about other races and stuff, and they like a black person, they try to be extra nice.
Exactly.
All right. They try to be extra nice. Same with the Chinese, same with the Mexicans, same with the Italians, same with all of them. Because it's been, we like I say, we are some of the most powerful people in the world, the black race. All right. And every race is scared of us. All right. They wonder why we're not standing tall above everybody. You know what I'm saying? They wonder that. But we don't know why. We know why, because we can't get along. We can't. Everybody want to be better than the next person instead of rise as a community and different things of that nature. But at the same time, these women, they do treat, when you meet them, they do treat you. They do treat you a lot different. You know what I'm saying? But it's so good and nice. Just feel good and nice. That's all. It ain't nothing to be mad about or jealous about or nothing like that. It just feel good. That's just like if a black woman came and did all the stuff that they did, or a black man was just to treat you like the queen that you are, you just gonna feel good. That's all to it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that's to me that's bottom line. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff.
And that's true, yo. When you get treated with respect, yo, you know what I mean? And respect is something that I don't care what race you are, I don't care what color you are, nothing. It's all about respect. And the thing is, if that's a big thing, that if we could do it, and if we could show each other respect as far as interracial dating go, be like, hey, okay, you love who you love, even within our race. You want to know I got a friend right now, and I told him I was going to talk about him on the show tonight, because this is what we were talking about. He only dates white women because he had a bad experience with an ex that he had. She was getting hostile, hitting all over him, all that type of stuff. Now, granted, it was something he did, but it was that hostility that kicked in, and he was like, nah, man, I don't want to date these black women. If this what I always got to deal with, I ain't got time for this. So it wasn't, and just to get this and clear the air real quick, it wasn't because he wanted to just do whatever he wanted to do. So let's just get that out the way, because a lot of times black women will say black man want to be with his white woman because they can just do whatever. No, that's not what it is. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
not
My
what it
dude,
is.
he really, yeah, that's not what it is. My guy, he looked at it from a respect standpoint, and he was like, wow. He was like, well, I can go over to this other culture over here where you be with their families and all this other stuff. Why is it that they can welcome me in better and treat me a little bit better than how my own people can do? You know what I mean?
But you know what? What you're saying, it's all about respect. Number one, and I've watched a lot of different and seen in different interracial couples, and that African American man will treat an African American woman one way, but then go outside of his race, and like be disrespected, be disrespectful, um, just a lot of different things when he's dealing with the African American woman. But then when he goes outside of his race, it's a totally whole different ball game.
Yeah, but
So you
why
can't
why
just
is he
say,
treating like that? Why is he acting that way? Okay, because every
see,
every
that's
every
my point.
every action gets a reaction. Okay,
But see,
Right.
that's my point.
This
You
is true.
can't. It's not necessarily just because of the race. Like I said earlier, speaking with different African American men who are dating outside of the race, you have that mindset that going outside of my race, they're going to be more respectful to me and things of that nature. And that's not necessarily so, because I've seen interracial couples and the people that are not African American going off disrespecting our black brothers, and I'm like, okay, well, hold on. And he's just being very docile now. And I'm thinking to myself, now let that have been an African American sister. And it'd have been like, oh, you know, she trying to be a man. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing that. It's not about the race, what race you are. It's about respect, regardless of what race you're from. What he which one was that, Uji, whatever, saying it's a whole different mindset from when you go over there and their family accepts you. You know, still, it depends on what's being said, what's being done, and also about keeping your relationship within the two of you, your relationship. Because if you're doing something crazy to me and I'm running back and forth to my family, Uji did this, Uji disrespected me here, he did this, he did that, and then you come around my family, oh yeah, they're gonna look at you side-eyed, and more than likely the men are gonna be like, come here, let me holler at you for a minute.
why you use
You
my
know,
brother?
and it's no, I'm just saying, but no, he was just talking.
You
Greg, you
good?
want me to
You
use you?
good? You want
You
me
know,
to?
we didn't went through 50 some years of people blaming us for that for they women
I'm
getting
just,
abused and
that's
all
my baby brother right there.
Wait,
But
what
that.
you say? What you say, Greg? 50-something years of going through what?
People saying that we didn't abuse their daughters and this and that and all this. So we done been through 50 some years. It's enough. We
I
good
never
now.
had that problem.
I'm
okay,
sorry.
well,
That was me. I didn't go through that. But I'm
but
gonna tell you
you
something.
understand what I'm saying. It also
Yeah.
depends on what you have told that family, and because we got a lot of people running back and forth, talking and murmuring about to their family. This one did this one did that. So when you come around, you thinking everything's good, and they looking at you crazy, and that could
Well,
be any race.
my question is, why you off running telling your family what's going on in your relationship
And
anyway?
and
I hold
that's what I
raise my
said.
hand up to that.
That's what I said. Keep it between the two of you. Period. Whatever race you are, if
Yeah.
you're in a relationship with the same nationality or not, that should be between the two of you. I've gotten mixed up with friends coming to me about their significant other, and I'm ready to fight. I'm like all huffing and puffing. I'm like, okay, let me see him, let me see him. And then I see him, and they're together, and I'm still all huffed and puffed and ready, like, okay, like, look, what we gonna do? What we gonna do?
And they done
You
kissed and
know,
made up, and your heart
and
is all hard.
thank you. And I'm ready to fight. And I had to tell this one specific person, um, would come to me and the girl, you would never believe. And I just look at her and I would say, I don't understand why you're shocked. This is something that this person does all the time.
Two sides to every
But that,
story. Two sides to every story. Hey, we've got to say
mhm.
hello to Suzette. Everybody say what's up to Suzette.
Hey,
Hey,
Suzette.
This was
Suzette.
it.
What's up, Suzette?
Go ahead and finish your thought, Marcy.
Oh, that was it. Just it. You
You know what?
just have to. Just,
I got something to say.
mhm.
Go ahead.
You know, a lot of times, being okay, how can I put it? A lot of times, interracial couples, I'm talking about with sports teams, with the guys on sports that date white girls or those.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they have been that my dad used to say that white is right, but it's not. And it seems to be that when you can elevate from where you are to something white or something some other color, you make yourself. It's all about what you feel about yourself. Because if you think that that's better than what you had, or if you seclude yourself into thinking that I'm only going to date this race, people thinking they all gonna be the same because everybody's not the same. Everybody's
Mm-mm.
not the same. Because a white guy can abuse you just as quickly as a brother will. So it's all about
Mm-hmm.
whether or not he's going to, like you said, respect you, or just what are you in it for? You in it for the money? What are we doing? You know, you got to find all that out.
For the
But
money.
me myself, I like chocolate, baby, dark as the night. I do.
For the money. I gotta understand that one too, because there's a lot of I mean, the brothers in the sports and all of that stuff, they got that money. Okay. What do you guys, if we talking about the money, what do the women go for in the white man? Generational money? I mean, the money he ain't making, the lazy money.
For me, it was just the person. I liked the personality. We clicked. It wasn't about that. I was introduced to their families. They were introduced into my family, and it was okay. It wasn't even a black white thing or any or a black Hispanic thing. It wasn't any of that. It was just, hey, this is someone I clicked with. They clicked with, and it wasn't about the money. One was a millionaire. It had nothing to do with the money. I didn't find that out till later, much later.
Wait a minute,
Hmm.
a millionaire? No, but it just all depends on what you're in it for. It all
Hmm.
depends on what if you're in it for the person, are you in it for the money, you in it for the prestige? So you could just say that you got something nobody else has. Because everybody's not dating white guys, So for you to pop up and say that you're dating one must mean that he's got something that brothers don't, or that the other folks don't. So because that's got to be the reason why. Because I don't see nobody around here dating no broke white folks. I don't see nobody dating no broke white folks.
I didn't
You
say
know
that.
what?
I
It's
said
not about
that.
dating a broke person. It's just about, okay, I might be here at a conference or some type of event, and just like you meet someone at an event, whether they're
Right.
black, Asian, white, whatever, you just met this person. You guys start having a conversation. Hey, I like the conversation I'm having.
It's got to be something that would draw you to him. Got to be
I
Exactly.
something.
mean, you like
It was
them.
a
You
conversation.
like a black
It's a
person.
group of
It
people,
ain't
and
nothing
we're
special.
talking.
It ain't got to be your pockets or nothing. He could just be handsome or whatever.
Right,
She could be
or not
beautiful.
even that.
It
You
ain't
just
got to be something material or
you
nothing like that.
His
right.
last
You're just
his
there,
last
and
No,
you're
name
it's a
But
group.
for
It's
regular,
a big group of people.
For me, that's just what
his
I
last
No, we're
name.
not beating up. That's
no.
just
you
I
said,
will
what
say
is it though? What do you study trying to see? No, it got to be something. No,
Yeah.
it ain't got to
no.
be nothing. When I went with these other women, you know what I'm saying? When I was with the other women, it wasn't nothing other than her being a woman.
We were at a
Let me,
champagne brunch when I met
let me
one,
put it
and
down.
then
I'm just saying,
pardon me.
let me put it down correctly, okay, as far as my brother and I go. Women came to us because our last name was Gray. Put it down, it's done, it's over. Go ahead.
It is.
So that was in Gary. You mean in Gary?
No. But you
Oh,
forget we've been in entertainment for quite some time.
oh, okay, for
But
that,
look,
because of
peep
that.
game.
Okay.
But
No, not
understand,
because
look,
of that. She's trying to relegate it. It's not because we was in entertainment,
No, you
because
said
of the
how about
charisma that
how
my
about the
family
white
had.
people?
I'm
How
oh,
about
that
black.
the
was
white people that grew up in Gary and went to school with us? All right, that didn't have no money. They had girlfriends
They
and
sure did.
boyfriends. You know what
They
I'm
had
saying?
black
They was
girls.
raised in Gary, got dirt kicked on them and everything, but they end up having black boyfriends, girlfriends, stuff like that because they was raised in Gary.
My
I
big
know,
brother right
I
now.
know a number of them.
My big brother right now, David Osika. I mentioned the name. Okay, he
Right,
just
grew up
married his
right down the
beautiful-
block from us
Yeah, married his beautiful
for
wife.
life.
They've been together forever. But David has always dated black women.
Yeah, they was the only white people on the block.
Only white people on the block. Catholic. Okay.
Catholic, yeah, Catholics.
and
You know
Catholic.
what I'm saying?
They had two colleagues, both of them named Lassie. Okay.
That's right. Right.
I'm
That's
just
right.
saying. So I mean, and
You could just like a person. They ain't got to be rich. I
Right.
mean, the white person. I don't even know if they had credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
What you say, Uji?
I don't even know if they had
You know
credit.
something
It's
that's
just
interesting too.
people like people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Just people
Oh,
like
that
people. It ain't
purple
got to
rain,
be
that
no.
jam in the bottle. I see.
Hmm.
It ain't got to be no strings attached or I'm
Hmm.
gonna get this out this
Just
man.
somebody.
You get more of that from a black woman trying to date a black man, trying to see
No.
what he got.
Hey, Uji.
Exactly.
Hey, Greg. Well,
Yeah.
Uji, did you just used to date white women, or you dated some?
I dated everybody.
Okay.
You missed the beginning of the
I
show.
dated women. I
Hmm.
dated women.
He
I
had
dated all the women. Just
the United Colors
all of them.
of identity.
Whatever color, race, whatever. From chocolate, black, charcoal to green, yellow, purple, and yellow. Hello.
Hey, Carl.
And I
Hey,
can
White
vouch,
and
Carl.
I
brown and
can
purple
vouch,
and yellow.
I can
But you
vouch for
know what? It's not a matter of an ulterior motive.
Mhm.
I don't think it's an ulterior motive when someone starts to date someone out of their race. Like, you're not saying, okay, what can this person offer? I'm speaking from experience because my brother, rest his soul, he married a white woman. My sister dates a white man. And so I see firsthand the um the challenges that they face. Now, my brother, he married his wife. He's passed away. He passed away in '07. I think he might have married his wife in like 2000. So think about how it was back then for him. And it was difficult for him because it wasn't accepted at that point. Not only that, but he moved from Gary, Indiana to Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Oh
Oh.
Lord. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sheboygan.
Man.
So it was
Boy,
even
good.
more difficult for him. They went through a lot. She had a young son. He was maybe 8 or 9 at the time. She lost her son, and I believe it was because she married a black man. She was not an alcoholic.
Mhm.
She did not do drugs. She had a good job. She had a husband. They had a house.
You mean the baby died?
No, he was awarded custody to the father.
Oh.
For what reason? I never could figure that out, other than she married a black man. And it was not acceptable, especially there. He literally was the only black person in Sheboygan at the time.
Wow.
Made me
Wow.
fearful,
I
very
thought that was
fearful.
just a
And
cartoon.
that's something that couples have to think about. I dated a guy. He was white. I met him at the YMCA at my son's
Hold on,
swimming
real quick.
class.
Greg has something he's gonna put in.
the white MCA.
The YMCA in
White
Hammond.
He
MCA.
said
Y.
white. He said He said
I mean,
White.
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 no
Put
YMCA, and
on Ross Greg in a glass house.
my son was taking
That's
swim
great.
lessons, and we just a couple of his kids were there. We just started talking and laughing and talking while we're waiting on the kids. And so then it was like every week we were running into each other. So we end up exchanging numbers and we started dating. His job transferred him to some part of what was it, Kentucky. And he was like, I want you and your son Josh to come with me.
Ooh.
And my question was, how many blacks are out there? And he kept telling me, he said, you don't have to worry about it. You have me. And I was like, no, Josh is getting ready to start kindergarten. I can't see putting him as the only black in the school. And you're talking about you're going to be at work, and things like that. He was an engineer. And then I'm out here, and I didn't want to subject my son to that,
But
being
see,
like the only black. Pardon me.
I'm saying we spoke of that at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Jonathan and I, and yes, you have to go to put the child in that school, but wait until something, he's like, well, what, you got funny hair, or you're lighter than me, and this and that, and then they'll come back with the questions: Dad, am I different? Mom, am I different? What's up? Okay, embrace that difference. Teach the child to embrace that difference and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
My son embraced that because, again, like I said, my family was French Creole. My son was like Suzette's complexion, but his hair was straight, like a kid from India. So we got it from the African American community with him being brown and straight hair. We were in Baltimore at the harbor one day, and a kid actually came to him, and he had his hair all in a ponytail down his back. And the kid grabbed his ponytail from behind and lifted it up and looked at him and said, "What are you?"
Ooh. I just.
And my son was like, Mom, Dad. I was like, can you let my son's hair go. And he, and it was all these little African American kids surrounding my son and just looking at him like he was a freak or something. And I said, he's a human boy.
But he was different.
We did that with the girls and boys with rubber duckies on back in school. You know what I'm saying? We surrounded them and wondered what happened to you? What's up?
But,
we people just make fun anyway, period. You can't just take everything
no, they weren't making fun. They were like had never seen an African American. No, they were serious. They had never seen a brown African American with straight hair.
They was curious, right? They were curious.
Okay, yeah, curious. I thought you said, yeah.
No, when I first started growing my dreadlocks, everybody wanted to touch my hair. All different races, a little bit of everybody wanted to touch my hair. You know what I'm saying? How did you do this? How does this work?
I asked them.
Can my hair do this?
I asked them. I was
what I'm saying? But everybody can't do that. You know what I'm saying? The white people, when they try to do dreadlocks and stuff, it's still just stringy. It's just clumped up. It ain't interwoven like ours is.
We had long hair when we were young. All of my brothers except for Kent had long hair when we was young. Okay, but we never had it like that. Okay, and before we go on, everybody say what's up to Maurice Bishop.
Hey, Maurice.
But Carl Ramsey, and I can remember Carl Ramsey had that white boy hair too. Okay, he went through that growing up. No one believed he was
buying it. I couldn't find none at the store like that.
Carl had that good hair. Okay, Carl had that. I mean, his hair was
all hair is good, just different textures.
No, all hair ain't good.
All hair is good, different textures.
I'm gonna tell you, my brother Kent. It looked like Mississippi on his head. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's good. It's good if you got some hair. How about that?
Okay, there it is.
Right. I like that comment. It's good if you got some hair.
And if you ain't got it, go buy it.
Well, let me tell you.
As good as you want to, then.
Greg probably.
I met Madam J. Walker. She straightened it out.
Yes, you did.
My dad says it's not what's on the head; it's what's in the head.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
Maurice.
Greg probably remembers.
We kept a hot
I had crap load of hair too when I was younger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very long hair.
Greg, Patty just said y'all was getting your hair pressed. I said, yeah, my mama pressed our hair sometimes. Our hair was
really
with the hot comb. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the hot comb, she'd come through that.
Yeah, man, Apple be this big.
Wow, that's bad, Greg.
Did you date her?
You got a hot comb press or was it a blowout? Because sometimes they did the blowout. With
you call it what you want.
Early.
Yeah, it was a hot comb on the stove.
I heard the crackling.
Yeah. Kick it out.
And that
queen stuff in, you know what I'm saying?
That Queen Bergamot grease, okay?
Oh
yeah,
the green one.
Green Bergamot or the blue Afro sheen.
We ain't got no sisters. There's 6 boys who grew up in our house. You know what I'm saying? No sisters.
Gotta get hair wrap.
What?
Hair wrap? No.
The hair wrap.
That too. You talking about hair wrap grease?
I'll tell you what, we were not allowed to have our hair braided, but we went to school. I don't know if anybody remember me, but we went to school and sat down in the surge. Had to get between the legs.
Wasn't at the beauty shop. All the folks sitting down on the floor getting their hair braided.
I think we all probably done braided some boys' hair.
So, I got paid for braiding boys' hair.
Carl said he was called Haji because he looked like Johnny Quest.
Say Haji.
That's funny.
Not Haji.
But I want to touch on this too. Okay, when we touched on it earlier. Okay. And Marcy, while you were talking, I was thinking about this. Okay, I think Gina was saying this. A lot of reasons why, and Uji had said something about it. Everybody, and Maurice, you can comment on this too. A lot of the black women, and I'm not saying you, Maurice, did this. Okay, but a lot of the black men, I should say. Let's keep it 100. Y'all black women are hard. Y'all hard on us. Y'all are
a lot of them are
so hard on us. So. A lot of men get to the point where it's like, okay, well, look, you know what? Let me try something different because this is really difficult. This is difficult. Y'all hard. Y'all want to be.
You know what?
Gina said all the different things that you hate.
No, because not every woman is like us. You got some women that are just real passive.
Okay,
but you also have white women that are hard on black men too. Like I said, I have so many interracial couples in my family. I have a family member that has a white woman, and she's giving him the blues.
I didn't say everybody. I said
Well, everybody. It ain't everybody. I know white women that give white men the blues.
oh yeah.
So to me, it's not a race thing. It's the person.
Right.
Correct.
That's
But
the
before
point.
you,
It's the person.
Well,
Like I was saying, we was raised, it was 6 boys. So we ain't had no sisters. Therefore, we loved women. We had our mama treated us that loved us all the way up until we was adults. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know nothing but to respect women. I mean, we get a little, we kind of older and we have our own ideas of what we want to do, but we were raised to respect women, most definitely, point
I
blank.
have
And
a question
let me
to
give
Greg.
Samantha real quick because Jeff is at work, so I want to make sure he gets what he has to have in, and because I know he's going to be going soon. I know Uji's going to be going soon. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm about
I got like 4 minutes.
Me too.
Go ahead, Jeff. I know.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this: with me being the youngest man in the room, real quick, and me looking at the generational divide, and I've had a chance to listen to what everybody is saying. Okay. So with me being the age that I'm at and the era that we in, I see it as this is something that's a little different. You know what I mean? Now listen to y'all talk. You know what I mean? Y'all hitting it from a different perspective to where it's kind of harder. You know what I mean? And I want to stay on subject real quick with what Greg was saying about the black woman coming off hard. Because remember, I was talking about that whole generational thing. Remember, I was talking about that stuff hitting in the family and all the other stuff, the stuff that kind of comes down the line. Now we not talking right now. We ain't talking about white women. We ain't talking about Asian. We ain't talking about Hispanic. We talking about black women. So I'm gonna stay on subject for 2 minutes. So the thing is this: when you deal with that hardness and that roughness because of the stuff that your ancestors went through before you, and then you're linking it with what you've been told, you still believe that fight is your fight.
that's right.
But the thing is, the game has changed. See, the thing is, we gotta pay attention to the surroundings that what's going on. See, we wanna talk about old tactics to a new game. That ain't how it goes. That ain't how it goes. So with these women coming off as hard, a lot of this is these old tactics, stuff that was said to them, saying, well, you gotta fight with this, or you gotta be strong with this, or you gotta do this. You know what I mean? We like to talk about how the man was the man, you know what I mean? And the woman was the woman, you know? And we so far gone from that now I'm saying that to a young black woman in America, she don't even know what that means.
Right.
She has no clue what that means to actually be a woman to a man. And it can be reversed too, because that man hasn't had many role models or figures to be that man to that woman. So, when we start looking at this whole paradigm of black woman being angry and the black man wanting to try something different, some black women will say, well, he just can't handle me and all this stuff. It ain't the fact that it has nothing to do with me handling you. Because the thing is, it's a lot of stuff a man can take, a man can tolerate. But sometimes a man just wants some peace out here.
Exactly.
And that's all races. A man just wants some peace. That's universal. I don't care if you black or white or whatever. Peace is the key. So when a black man talks about that black woman coming off hard, it's like, yo, just chill out. That you ain't fighting that whole women's fight. The whole women's movement fight, that wasn't nothing for you, no way, sister girl. That wasn't for you, no way. Because guess what? Because that whole thing that was going on with the white women, the equal opportunity and pay and all that. Look, that black man at the time was fighting for you because we all had a racial fight at the time. He was fighting for him, his family, because it was a racial fight at the time. You know what I mean? So we have to switch the dynamic in the way of thinking to what's going on now. I got one more minute I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave off.
I gotta go, y'all. Yeah, hey, I love y'all. Y'all have
just 2 minutes.
People.
Peace.
All right, Uji. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I did 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I got passionate. I love y'all.
Love you too.
Right, Samantha, you were
Coach brought the subject up my question he answered. I was going to ask you to, Greg, to elaborate on what you meant by hard, Black women being hard, and Coach talked about it. And one of the thoughts that I've had is that, and he went back and to ancestral as far as the struggle that our people have had, period.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the picture that I have painted in my head, is that somebody came and tore up
Rough
our
they think.
family
That's
nucleus
right.
and took away our men.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we were pushed, not us literally, but our ancestors were pushed into a role that we weren't created to be in.
That's right.
And then they came back, and then we didn't know how to get back in our place.
Mm.
And
And so
it gets worse every generation.
to allow them to be the men that God created them to be, the covering that they're supposed to be over us. So we continue to stay in that dominant role that we weren't made to be in.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So now you've got this anger thing going on. If you've got somebody who's docile on either side, then you've got this struggle going. If you don't do it, I'll do it myself. And I've been waiting forever for it to happen. It's all of these crazy scenarios that's going on. So we have to retrain we got to renew our minds.
Girl, who is this talking? Girl,
I got
that's a whole word.
Well,
my brother.
That's a whole
Hey.
word, baby.
I got a brother that just commented on something where it says family. And I guess it's our family. He put up here lies, okay, which is funny. Okay, that's my brother, love him to death, man. That's my second oldest brother, lives in Atlanta.
May I say
Um,
something?
yes,
Mhm.
But
go
you,
ahead.
but you know what? That is the absolute truth, because you think about it. From generation at the very beginning, Black men were the best providers there were, and
They
and
knew how
they,
to do what they did because they had to. I mean,
Mhm.
where they were coming from, they had to hunt and gather.
right, they were
You
the
know,
best providers there was, and there was no reason for a woman to have to go anywhere, because
no,
she knew he would take care of it. But
Yeah.
see, then
but
when you got to just like you said, Samantha, when you got to slavery, what did they do? They tore the family apart.
hey,
Yep.
They left the woman there to take care of everything, like you said, Samantha. They to take care of everything, and it did nothing to me. I mean, to me, it didn't do anything but just get worse and get amplified. I'll just say it's got amplified with every generation. Now you got these ones. It's so prevalent now. Till you got these ones now that ain't really looking for a man. They're looking for the same thing that the men are looking for. They're looking for a little something, and then they gone. They're not really used to. I mean, they don't want to be no family
That's
unit. They
tough.
don't want to. They don't want to do nothing
like
right.
Bobby Brown humping around.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
real
want to do
tough.
nothing right. And even and then you don't have to tell a Donnell story.
I don't know.
And even when I met Donnell, he didn't believe. He thought I was just kidding. Just with the way I act and stuff. I don't ask for anything. I figure that if we're in a relationship or anything and you want to give it to me, that's great. I
Mhm.
shouldn't have to ask you for anything. You should know the
Right.
need is there. You should be able to, I don't ask him for nothing. And he thought I was kidding. So I said, no, I'm not. And by me not asking, I get more than I would if I had been asking for stuff. I can ask,
Not
but
me. You better
Uh,
let me know.
I always
but
thought a marquee of a really strong relationship is when you met that woman, and if that woman was that way, had those barriers up. I call them barriers because you had to break them down. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Hmm.
If they had those barriers, if it was a good relationship, they automatically came down, and then it's just it went to the peace. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
went to the more strength because you understood and you communicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I don't think that you can have a conversation about interracial dating and include Black women, because it's a whole other kind of dynamic. It's a
yeah,
whole other
Yes.
kind of thing, because you got
I agree.
all the history and stuff like that going. That's
I
a
agree because you
whole
got you
other
got
Mhm.
piece.
history. You got history in those relationships,
Yeah, and it's
interracial relationships,
brokenness. Brokenness.
especially with white men. That I mean, y'all just recently started dating white men. I mean, publicly dating, getting out there. I see more and more of it here than any, and this is the deep south.
Mm.
But
You
see,
know,
here's my question, and I agree with what you guys are saying. Okay. By the way, Carl Ramsey was like the patriarchal symbolism in Black families has gone to an extreme in the relationships between Black men and Black women. Thanks for that comment, man. See, black, uh, and it's not all. And I'll go. I'll say this for Gina's sake. It's not all black women, okay? But a lot of the women, and I'll say women, period, they want what they want. I mean, they want it. Sometimes they want it now. They want you to act a certain way, and they're not going to give you any peace until you act like they want you to act. All right, and even though what Samantha said is exactly true, they don't know how to break from what they've been taught. But it's been a lot of stuff that's going on to show them different. All right, that's why you're losing the black men. Okay, now they said that it's what, 6 women to every man now. Okay, so we have an opportunity to choose. Now. So if this woman that we want, this woman that we want to grow with, this woman that we want to spend the rest of our lives with, is continuously telling us we're not good enough for her, because she's not saying that verbally, she's saying it in actions. She and I'm going to keep it 100. She withholds sex. Okay, she stops doing the things at home because you didn't do this or you're not doing this. She stops doing a lot of stuff to try to force you to be like she wants you to be. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I love my black women. I love them. I love each and every one of y'all on here. Okay, but y'all gotta. It's been a long time. Ease up now. Let us get back to what we was doing. All right, we can do that. Real quick, Carl says, I grew up in a strong matriarchal family. I had to literally push back to get respect from the women. Now all the matriarchs are in their older years and have stepped back. Now they look to me for advice about the family. I was in shock when I became a patriarch in my family. I agree with you. You said, "Bull, come on, go ahead."
Okay. Dang, I'm losing my thought. You're saying that about the African American women. The women that I've talked to and I'm around, the issue is we want you guys to be the king and the head of the families.
What do you?
But yes. Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Because we have been the head of the families for so many years, and we want you to be in that place. But a lot of times when you come, and we do step back sometimes. And let me go into like the 20s and the 30s and we'll say the African American men in the 20s and 30s. Sometimes what I hear is, they're talking about, like you're saying, the black women are so dominant and they're so this and they're so that, but it's because these men have been coddled by their parents, their moms, didn't have to do anything, playing these games, still out here trying to play games and things like this. And when we're trying to, no, hold on, when we try to step back, just joking, trying to step back to allow them to go, the younger ones to become the heads, a lot of times it's like, hey, they're still out, you have them in the 50s and 60s still trying to play games.
What signal are you giving us? What signal are you giving us to tell us that you step back? Okay, you're not doing that. A lot of women are not doing that. Go ahead, Maurice.
Again, you have to have a man to show a man what to do. You know what I mean?
And that's a problem in our community.
It has to be by an example. I mean, you can be a strong woman and raise a man, but a man has to show another man how to be a man in that relationship.
Right.
And that's in our African American community. We've had, like we've said before, whereas from back in the days, slavery days and things like that, and even, just nowadays, there's still a lot. Look at how they're still trying to break the African American family. Let's say you're getting laid off, both of you working, you get laid off, whatever, and you have the family dynamic, the mother, the father, the children. So you might have to try to go to get some assistance. And the dad's in the family. So a lot of times it's like the dad will fall back, get away, just so the parent and the children can get assistance. And that's breaking up the family dynamic.
That was real prevalent in the 70s.
That was real.
Yeah, it really was.
In Gary, especially in Gary.
Yes. They would come in welfare officers would come in our house and look through our closets to see if there were men clothes in the closet. They would come in your house and see if there were any signs of men in the home.
I saw that on the movie Claudine, right?
Right.
And I thought that was
true. It happened for real.
Yeah.
And see,
Wow.
and why you guys are saying that, we should step back. If we
I'm
step
not.
I
back up,
didn't say you should step back. I
what
never
did you
said that.
say?
I said, give us a sign that you're gonna let us do what we got to do. Okay, all right.
Okay, but when
Because
we do that, and
when do
things
you do
start
it?
falling apart, what do we
When do
do?
you do it?
What
When
do
do
we
you
do?
do it?
Just sit there and not, and we got it. You know what?
Got a point.
We've had to be
Just
resilient.
You
So
we
have
we
a
had
can
to,
say,
point.
because our homes were broken up. The men were taken out of our homes a long time ago. And so
Okay, get off
women
of that. Get
had
off
to
of that.
stand up and be strong.
Get
You
off of that.
can't
Men were
just,
taken out a
but you
long
can't
time ago.
just
Don't
turn
get
that
off.
off. I'm sorry, you can't turn it off.
That's an
That's the
excuse,
way
man.
it was. That's
It's
not
an
an
excuse.
excuse.
That's an
It's
excuse.
not an excuse.
when I was
Women
married,
had to
and
be head of the home for a
yes,
long time.
But what I think I hear Greg saying is the on the opposite side is that that woman that has a man that is really a man, that has been raised by a man who understands what position a man should take in the home, but then that woman won't allow him to
Exactly.
be who he is.
But
He's
she
not
got a
that
picture in
person.
her head.
He's not that person that won't take care of. I understand that. I truly do understand that. But we're not talking about the man that doesn't understand how to be a man, how to support the family, how to cover his wife, how to take care of things and bring the monies homes, and she's it's not a roommate mother son situation. It's a
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
situation where there is a man in the house and he has the ability to be that man,
Well, I
but
think,
he
I'm
won't
sorry,
but she
Samantha.
won't she won't she won't reposition herself
Good word.
okay.
and become that person who, and we think submit is a cuss word and it's
It's not.
not.
Mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
So
mm-mm,
and submit to that man the role that he has been created to be.
Thank
mm-hmm.
you.
And
But you
that
know
and
what?
then that being said is that, like Marcy said earlier, I'm sorry, Gina, like Marcy said, I don't want to wear his shoes.
Right.
Right.
Mm-mm,
I don't.
But
not at
but
all.
that you made a good point, Samantha, because you guys are viewing it as we won't do it. I believe that's how my home is set up. I don't think Robert would stick around if I was trying to wear the pants. I don't think he would stick around if
Mm-hmm.
I was
Exactly.
just
A true
dominant
man, yes.
and trying to control everything. It may look like that on the outside to a lot of people, but I know what it takes to make a relationship to last long and
Mm-hmm.
to make a man feel wanted in a relationship.
You
Otherwise,
know
I
that
wouldn't have
line.
been in two long-term marriages for 17 years on both, and going on past 4 years with my current. Apparently, I know that I know how to do that.
And you're an
I
Mm-hmm.
exception
know
to
that
the
I
rule.
know when
You're an
it's time
exception to the
to
rule.
step back and say, you know what, let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And
an
I
exception
know
to the
when
rule, Gina.
because you have to
I'm
stroke a
taking
man's
it.
ego sometimes.
That's right.
I'm saying, but
You have
you're an
to.
exception to the rule. Okay,
I
Carl
don't
said
think
everything must
so.
change.
I don't think
Nothing
I'm an
changes.
exception to the rule, to be honest.
Situations change. Everyone in the family must adjust to survive. And Bree just want to know where the men at. Where they
She said,
They all gone.
at? I say you're an
wait for
exception.
the right one, Bree, because
I
they're
say
out
you're an
there.
exception
You
to
have
the
to
Yeah.
kiss a lot of frogs before you find a prince.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but
my whole
you know what?
thing, my
Go
whole
ahead,
thing.
Bree.
I bet you the dude is standing right in front of her face too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know what I'm saying?
And what is she doing, Maurice? She's not
She,
letting him.
No,
hey,
Around
Maurice, I
that
don't
that
agree with
wallet. I'm
that
finna open
either.
up a
You
can of
gotta
worms
ask
for
the
all of
question.
this right here.
No, I
yeah,
had a
because I
lot
was
of
saying,
men
wait
Wait,
till
wait,
that
stand.
whole
wait.
thing goes. So
Hold up, hold up,
I want to
I
hear
had
Maurice.
hold up,
no,
hold up.
Maurice.
I have known plenty. I had plenty of partners. I know plenty of girls. Not telling them, look, that dude right there, he will run around the world backwards for your ass. And
Well,
she
I
like,
got mine, but I
you
had
know,
a lot of men that stood in my face,
well,
and
I'm
it.
saying,
Gina,
Mm-mm.
you
I'm
are an
talking about,
aggressive
we
woman.
have our little groups of folks, and you could tell that, how you say it, the freaking atmosphere of the room, them two, you can see the chemistry just, you know what I'm saying? It's kicking like kung fu.
I,
And and they sitting up there looking at each other like this. And 9 times out of 10, it's the woman going, got her face
But
twisted
it
up.
was, but Maurice, sometimes even with that chemistry, is still not a good match. That does not
mm-hmm.
make it a good
Yeah.
match. You have
Hold
to
up.
find your
Hold up.
yin for your yang.
hold up.
Because
Anyway,
I knew when I was dating, and I knew it took a certain man to deal with me.
okay,
I
and there
knew
you
that.
go. There you have it right there. Okay, Carl says that frog scenario goes both ways. Suzette, hold on.
It
Okay,
does.
Gina,
Man.
here's the thing,
There you
Gina.
go,
Just tell me to
Carl.
hold on.
Okay,
I like that, Carl.
I love my sister to death. Okay, but Gina, you're a bit aggressive. Okay, and if a man is trying to come at you, and you already got this wall up. Okay, and here's the other thing that women do. Okay, and this has nothing to do with interracial. I guess we all offer that. Okay, but here's the thing that you women do. Because of your past hurts. Because
No.
all right, let me finish. You saying no?
No.
That's a whole nother subject right there.
That's
I
me.
disagree
There is
on
an
so
open
many
wound.
levels
Let
with
me
what
finish.
you guys are
Let me
saying.
finish.
I'm sorry.
Let me
Oh
finish.
my God.
Let me
Jenny,
finish.
you done
Go
said it
ahead.
before.
I want
Let
to
me
hear
finish.
this.
Because of past hurts and past things that have happened with a man, you women become this superwoman. I ain't gonna
That's
let
not
this
true.
happen. Let me finish,
Go
Gina.
on and finish.
I ain't gonna let this happen to me, okay? So you guys take all of that bull, and I never said you were thirsty, Bree. I never said that, okay?
Oh.
It's just comments, okay? And Bree is a beautiful woman. She is not thirsty, okay? But
She's smart. I
you
mean,
like Gina,
I mean,
y'all hard, okay? Y'all hard on the dude, okay? Marcy, hold up, all right? Let me
I
finish.
do not
Y'all know
consider anything
I said,
hard.
hold on, Gina. I didn't ask you to comment right now. Just hold on.
I can't hold my tongue.
Wait, I want to hear this. I want to hear
Marcy,
this.
look,
I want to hear. Let him. I
look,
want to
look,
hear
I'm
him
sitting
out.
over here. You open up a can of worms.
I
Look.
don't care what y'all say.
Suzette done put the one in front of the camera,
I don't care what y'all say.
the big one.
Suzette put that long finger down. I don't care
It
what
is.
y'all say. Okay. Y'all let these past hurts manifest itself on the present guy that's trumping at you. And like Maurice said, okay, this dude could go around the world and backwards for you and try to do everything. And you women just say, as soon as he make that one little misstep, okay, but he didn't come home. He got home an hour late. Okay.
No, I'm gonna throw some salt in the game. Hold on, go ahead, keep going.
That's
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
This is the
Look,
salt. This
I
is
was
the
first.
salt. Becky shows up and says, "Come here, Colin." And guess what? Guess who we running back in the world then for?
Yeah,
Becky.
because what he was just saying, that can go both
Uh-oh.
ways.
Suzette done checked out on me.
Men are not built that way. Men
That
ain't
can
built
go
that way.
both ways. Because what you guys made a
Men ain't
comment
built
about
that way.
earlier was you dated a black woman. She was overbearing. She was aggressive. So because of that one hurt, you went to Becky. So that goes both ways.
Well, I'm just saying, Becky came up and started talking to you because she saw, old girl being really
Exactly.
crazy.
It
Exactly.
might
But
be
then when
good
you get in that,
written.
White girl.
then a lot of times when you get in that relationship with
White girl.
Becky, because I've been at stores and in malls and stuff watching Becky totally disrespect my brother, and I'm like, hold up, and I'm like, okay, that has nothing to do with me, but I want to look at the brother and say, you know what, brother, that's who you went to, probably because you're saying that the sister is too aggressive, but getting cussed out. I done seen him get backhanded and all this. And I'm like, really? And
Nah,
you know,
that's
I'm
on
not
you.
racist. I don't have a problem with mixed
For
race
real,
couples.
myself, you done seen a brother get backhanded by Becky.
I have seen on more than one occasion over the years, and I wanted to jump in there, and I'm like, you know what? No better for you.
You jumped in
No
there.
better
I
for
would
you.
have jumped in there.
Go ahead, Suzette.
She
Give
losing.
the whole face.
Oh my God, let it
I'm
come
gonna
on
tell
out.
you. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
shut it all down. I'm gonna shut it all down. Here you go. There, black women. This thing with black women and being aggressive and all that. Number one is generational. Wait a minute. Number two, think about this. Because it's generational, you got a lot of women. If they got past hers, they passing it along. They're not teaching them nothing. They're not teaching nothing about how to be women. They're not telling them nothing. They don't know that you need to learn how to cook because you're a woman. That's what you're supposed to learn how to do. They're not telling them that you need to be able, when he come home from work, leave him alone for 2 hours till it's time to eat. They don't know that. They don't tell him that.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna tell him, don't be egging him. Because let me tell you what I did. Well, a long time ago. I ain't gonna say what long time ago. I was with somebody that wanted to go to the strip club because it's part of a lodge thing. You know what I did? Because I knew he wanted to go. I got his clothes ready. Have a good time. He came back in an hour and a half, told me everything about it because he had a good
And
time.
tore that thing up.
I wouldn't kid his mate because I don't care. But it was an hour and a half though. My thing is
They
my
are
thing is my thing
ridiculous.
is he wasn't gone all night. He wasn't gone all night. When he went, I mean, there was a thing at the lodge, you know, with the
And
smokers.
tore it up.
But this is my thing. He's grown, but he came back home.
Had
My
some
my thing is
pepperoni.
that women do not know how to, well, because we raise the men and women. They don't have they so busy in the fellas world, they're not raising women. What Donnell? Donnell said
Lord.
it was hard for him to. It was hard. Listen. That's all I know because I'm only with one person. Donnell said when he met me and we finally went out to dinner that day, he was like, "Dang." He said, "Girls don't wear heels no more. Girls don't wear dresses no more. Girls don't want to fix their hair no more. Girls don't want to wear no makeup. Now the ones that do are the ones that's going to be the one be Oh, that's what they're going to do because they demand that their hair get done. They demand that their feet get done. They demand that their nails get done. But see, a person that can that's hygiene. That's like taking a bath every day. I mean, you could do, but that's hygiene to me. But like I said, women have not. The problem is that women, you don't have enough mothers in the church to tell these young girls that come to church how you should even be. You
They
go to
don't go
church
to
now.
church, Suzette.
I'm sorry.
They don't go to church.
But I'm just saying, some of them, because there's some of them still come up with the short dresses up to hello and how you doing. They do that. But see, mothers at the church used to pull you aside, and nobody said nothing about that because everybody wanted you to be successful. Everybody wanted you to be equipped enough. What are you down there laughing for, Maurice? Everybody wanted you to be successful, and they wanted to see you with that nice guy, so that way you would know how to act. You would know what to do. That's all. That's all I had to say. I can click off.
What's wrong?
Carl is a mess.
Because y'all didn't flick the button over here.
Yeah,
y'all didn't flick the button.
That's how it was.
Because let me tell you something. Because it's a lot of things that you're saying that is not. It is not true at all. Like that past hurt stuff.
Hold on.
I had 2 very good marriages, and when I walked into my next relationship, I didn't expect that guy to be like my previous husband or even treat me like that. You know what I'm saying? I looked at that person individually to see what his characteristics were and if they match mine. Now, back to what Maurice said when he was saying, that guy is probably right there looking at you. I'm going to give you a good example. You guys know I told you I had a stalker, right? This guy made a lot of money. He had nice cars. He spent money on me. When you talk about if the average woman would have jumped all over him, what I saw in him did not match my personality. So I walked away from him because he did not match my personality. Even with all the things he had and all the things he did for me and all the places he took me, his personality did not match mine. And
It
so
matched for a minute, though, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, you just said all the places he took you, all the things he bought you. It matched for a minute there.
No, it did not.
It did not last.
It did not last. It didn't last 2 months. But he, in his head, couldn't accept the fact that I didn't want to be with him because every woman wants to be with him because he got so much. And that's why he started stalking me because I'm probably the first woman that told him no.
But see, there again, Gina, you're an aggressive woman, okay? My thing is this.
Do y'all really think I'm aggressive?
I do.
I don't. Gina, let me tell you something. This is what I see in you personally. When I first met you, I said, I thought you was pretty cool. And then Greg actually started saying a lot of stuff, he cutting you off and everything. It was kind of comical. But I could talk to you 100 million years because you could talk on a level that, first of all, you can enjoy, you're enjoyable to talk to, But that's between us
because
here.
she doesn't intimidate you, okay? But there are other guys out there that are trying to live up to your exacting tastes, that are trying to do that, okay? And they see how you coming at them, okay, with the way that you are, okay, with the way that you are, Marcy, you know, and you guys.
He didn't put me in that. Now wait.
You guys, and you know.
I'm
But
aggressive.
let me ask you though,
I
Greg.
just
Let me
put
ask
a
you
name
this
in there. I just
question
put your
then
name in there.
with that comment. Let me ask you this: would you prefer a woman that is pretentious?
This ain't about me.
No. Well, okay, I'm gonna put it on the panel. I'll put it out there with Maurice and you, or any guy in the audience. Would you prefer a woman that's pretentious, or a woman that's going to tell you exactly how she feel, what she thinks? And
That's what I prefer.
men think
No,
that's
hell no.
aggressive.
Hell no.
I
Because
prefer.
I'm going to speak my mind. If I don't like something, you don't have to figure it out. I'm going to tell you straightforward.
That is the reason why I married my wife.
It's how we say it. That's the thing.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, that's the whole thing. You can say whatever you want.
That's
speak your mind,
great.
okay? But it's how you speak your mind to the other person, okay? And it goes both ways, okay? But it's not it's not what you say, it's how you say it, okay? And when you're coming at me, I'm not gonna take it that well, okay? When you coming at me, now if you want to talk to me, let's talk so we can have a discussion, okay? But don't come at me and say you ain't, you know, don't do that, okay?
So you really feel that I'm an aggressive person?
I do. I love you to death. But
okay, you put my name in there. You feel I'm an aggressive person?
But this is the thing, though.
Wait,
most
Gina, let me ask this
let
question.
me make this comment. You can have the floor, Marcy.
Mm-hmm.
Most men who have a woman or deal with a woman that have their own thoughts and their own feelings and their own whatever, they feel that they are aggressive. They feel that they are a dominant woman. They feel that because
or intimidated.
No, not intimidated. Okay?
And you're right about the intimidation. A lot of guys I dated, they did say they were intimidated with me.
Okay, because of the fact the way that.
But then when they get past that, then they feel like
because of the way that you come at them. Okay, and I'm not specifically picking on you. Okay, I'm just saying when a woman comes at a man is not going to receive that very well when you're coming at him. All right.
I don't know. I mean, my wife told me straight up, you know, we communicated real well. Actually, we communicated so much that sometimes it was like, man, you know, I couldn't believe it at first. First of all, I could talk to somebody without getting ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I'd rather stay single than have to argue every day or try to.
But it's not no argument. It was just like if she needed to talk. Go ahead, Marce. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in.
I don't want to have to prove a point every day. Okay.
No.
My thing is we can discuss. We can agree to disagree. All right. But there's a lot of women out there, and I'm not saying any of you guys. I'm just saying put your finger. There's a lot of women out there that
live to argue.
You just want to argue. You just want to be.
I want to say they might. I want to say they may be the ones that are like that are younger. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not really seeing the older.
I'm just saying, you know, we're not always on the defensive. We're not always on the defensive. We want to
got that word in right.
We want to respect what you're saying, okay? But it's a way to do it. It's how you come and talk to. You don't have to be accusatory all the time, okay? Or antagonistic all the time. Come to me with love sometime. Come to me and say, hey, I want to talk to you about something, as opposed to saying, hey, look, you were an hour late. Where you been? I bet you was with that bitch. You know, and all
that goes back to what I said. That goes back to what I said about women teaching you how to be instead of you relying on your friends and people. I always say this one thing. I always tell people all the time, I only take advice from people who I don't mind ending up like. If you know, you ain't doing too slick and you around here trying to tell me what to do, I'm not gonna do it. But if you know what I'm saying, Mars? Yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I'm going back to my original question. So do I come across as aggressive?
You're aggressive.
No. Hey, look, Tracy Drink says at times women and men have a communication issue when something is being said, and what's being said is taken the wrong way, of course, and not meant in a way that it's expressed with aggressive intention. And I agree with that, okay? But it's the way that you're saying it.
But you know what, Greg?
You know, I expect my queen to protect me. Okay, if she got to be a little hard and say, "Hey, baby, that's not gonna work." You know, if that happens, you know, if she got to be a little hard, I expect that and I respect it because I would not let her jump in, you know, and possibly get hurt or betrayed or something like that. I let her know I'm gonna protest anything that's hurting.
Is
You know what
anybody
I'm
hearing
saying?
me, Samantha, when I say it's not what you say, it's how you
How
say
you say
And
it. Hmm.
Some,
can,
We heard you.
can I
some,
say something?
No,
And when I was
Go
I'm
ahead.
joking, Sammy Pooh. You know I'm joking.
Yes, Trey, it's the tone of voice. That's what it is. Go
and
ahead.
Gina, and when I was
Trey, I'm
listening to
sorry.
what Gina was saying when she said she didn't agree in regards to the hurts,
Hmm.
because the fact that when women have had or men have had really good relationships with people, and then verse on the other side, the person that haven't had good relationships, they do have those hurts, they do have those things that they go back and grab, and they may not have healed as well as
Hmm.
matured
Thank you.
into a place of where they can not bring that old relationship, what
Absolutely.
has happened into
Bring
that
that
old
baggage.
relationship, into the new relationship. So
Absolutely.
that's a learned behavior, that's a renewing of your mind, that's a
Hmm.
reading some books and understanding things. I always say this:
Reset.
we don't take enough time to understand the genders. I'm not talking about that person individually, that person's makeup, their personality of who they are. But I mean the innate gender, how men function, how women function. Men function in a totally different way than we function. We
Hmm.
real verbal. We quick to get a response. Sometimes they need time to respond. They need to go think about it. It needs to be
I
okay
agree
for
with
them to
you,
go
sir.
somewhere and think about it. You need to tell us when you're gonna come back and give us an answer. It
Hold
ain't
up,
gonna
hold
be
up.
a month
Well,
from now.
y'all can't go in the store and come back out that bad boy in
You know,
20
but
minutes.
they just function. They function different. We function different. They trying
Right.
to figure out men are for Mars, women are for Venus, or whatever that book is. And so we be like figuring out,
you know,
okay, I got to figure out how to. We can take all of this information in it, and this is there's always an exception to the thing. You know, it could be some women that I don't want no details. Just give me the facts. Most of the men, I just want the facts. Just give me the bottom line. You need me to help you? Tell me what you need me to do. Don't let me guess. Just tell me.
That's
And
me.
so, but we don't understand that. We don't get to understand the gender, how men function. They ain't trying to be combative. They just. I just talking to a friend today. All he keeps talking about, peace, peace, peace. I need peace.
Well, see, I don't want to be in a home like that. And that's why, when my late husband passed away, even when I divorced my first husband, it was years before I dated. When I lost my late husband, it was 2 years before I met Robert, because you have to heal whatever you're going through. You have to heal before you get into that next relationship,
Hmm.
and that's
Hmm.
why I have never brought in baggage with me, because I'm okay with being by myself. I was okay
Hmm.
with being alone. I need to be alone so I can heal and find myself and find which direction I want to go in. But
and
if boom, you're jumping right into the next relationship, you just lost. You got all this stuff just bumbling all over your head and all these feelings. You got to learn how to heal too.
but
Right.
I
Well,
did.
And
I had to hit the ground kind
before
of
we
running
before
because
we
I
go to
had
the
my
next
kid.
thing, I'm sorry, Carl. No, no, I want to clarify. It's not slow. It's this is just according to the Book of Sam.
Come on, girl.
They need people need time to process things. I feel like that man, that king, that's mine. If I bring something to him and there's an issue, I need to know that person well enough to know that, okay, I'm going to take what you just told me and I need to process this. Give me some time to process this so I can come up with a solution
Hmm.
for this relationship, for this family, for this home, for whatever that whole thing is. And
Seriously.
then, yeah, and if it is crazy, yeah, people will stay silent. Sometimes we do need to stay silent for a moment so that we can get our thoughts together. I'd say slow to speak, slow to wrath, and swift to hear. Because if I slow down what I'm getting ready to say, the wrong words are not going to come out of my mouth because I cannot get them back.
That's right.
That gives me an opportunity to hear from God, to give me some words, to pick my words wisely
Girl, that's a word. Go ahead.
before I put it out there,
Come on.
so that I'm not wounding the person that I'm getting ready to say something to.
Okay,
The
that's why
person that I
that's why
love.
all the ladies in here on this side, we know y'all queens, and y'all know y'all queens. Y'all giving it out to the younger generation. So
Yeah, but it took how. But look at the ages that we are. How many times have we knocked our heads on the sidewalk in the process of getting to be that healed
hey,
person that that we are? How
we
many?
have too.
Yeah, right, exactly. Everybody have knocked their head on the sidewalk at some time to say, okay, that didn't work.
But
I
listen,
can't do that again.
you know, there was a
But that's what you have to learn to know that though, Sam.
Yeah,
You have to learn to know that, and a lot of women don't know that.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
right.
There's a thing I saw on TikTok which I thought was I'd never heard it before put that way. In short, he was saying that women are not supposed to love a man.
I saw your
Did you see
video,
that?
and I didn't agree with
That's
it.
You didn't
crazy.
agree with that? That's what it
No,
said. It said
No.
if they said
oh, respect is their definition of love. They gotta have it. You
I'm sorry,
can't not give them respect.
right.
Even he started off laughing like,
He
don't get
was
all over me," because he knew it was crazy what he was
What
saying.
Well,
crazy?
what was biblical because right the Bible.
Girl,
I'm just saying. But I do be put my fingers and stuff up. But I put it out there.
That was for Bree. That wasn't you. Go ahead.
I didn't see that. Let me
Yeah.
put my glasses on.
She said, yeah, but it took some trial and error to get there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That comment right there.
and one thing I want to share, because I know that
I'm aggressive and I'm mean.
no, not
Sometimes
aggressive, and I'm
I
not
don't let
mean.
me
Ask
talk at
Robert.
all.
Ask
No.
him what
Don't
kind of
let the
person I
TV
am.
lie. Go ahead.
Like I said, you may it may appear to you that I'm that way, but
I'm messing with
ask the people that are around me. They'll tell
I'm
you
messing with
totally different.
I'm messing
But
with I gotta be
at
the
one
cool
point,
Everybody give Gina a kiss.
Mwah. Mwah,
but
mwah.
there was a point in time
Come
when
on,
I was
Greg.
dating.
Come on, Greg. Give it up.
There was a point in
He's
time
such a
when I
brat.
was dating, when I heard so many men were telling me, "Oh, you're too aggressive. You I can't stand up to
I
what you
don't. I
want,
like
this, that, and the
intelligence.
other." I'm the
I
most
like
down to
it.
earth person you can meet. But anyway, that bothered me, and I did bring myself down to date a guy,
Oh Lord.
and it still did not work.
I love
Because
it.
of how you say it. Dina,
Not how. Look,
there ain't no soft way that you say anything, okay? So look, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
because I'm straightforward.
You
But like I
straightforward,
said, I
but it's
dated
the
this
way.
guy, and I changed everything,
So
my
you changed the
whole
gear.
approach. And again, it didn't work.
So you were not presenting your best self. You were doing somebody else.
I
Right.
was doing somebody else who's that, because
That's why.
Lost their identity.
I kept hearing it from guys that, oh, you two this and you two that, and
See, I wasn't
I
lying then.
can't bring
Just like we were back in the day.
stand up to what you're expecting. I'm not expecting nothing from nobody.
But that's what you put off. That's what are you hearing me? This is what you put
Well,
off.
well, guess what? I got the
You
best
got a
one
man.
got me. The
Absolutely.
best one got me.
Absolutely.
Come
And
on.
I'm not doubting
You
that.
got
Right
a
now.
man.
Come on.
But I'm saying it's what you
You
it's
gave
what
her a
you
kiss
put
on
off.
the air. What are you talking about?
I'm not giving them a kiss on the air. It's about what it works both ways. I mean, I'm saying it from a man's perspective though, okay? A lot of women, and I'm not saying particularly you guys, I am picking on you though, Gina, but
I don't care.
I know you don't. There you go again. That proves my point right there. But my thing is that, again, and I'm going to say this until the end of the show, okay? But first, before I say anything, okay, man, look, y'all got to go get this Purple Rain, all right? I mean, yes,
I got mine.
yes, I'm not. I look at you. See, I can't even say what I got to say. She got hers. I know you got yours. I'm
You
telling
don't
the
know I
people
got
out there,
it.
yes, you told me already. I'm talking to the people out there, okay? Look, sweet drinks. Look, y'all go to www.thedamninthebottle, just like I said it, the Dam in the Bottle, and order some of this. I was with Senator Eddie Melton Sunday, whatever day that was, yesterday.
I saw that. That was.
And he drank some. I mean, first word came out of his mouth was "damn." Okay, for real. And he's actually going to be doing me a favor and getting some things in place to distribute this in different clubs around Gary and some other places too. Awesome. We spoke. So it's a good thing, okay? And it's a taste that you haven't tasted before, and y'all just Check it out, all right? Y'all make sure y'all get it, all right? But what I was going to say is this, and I'm going to say it until the end of the show. It's not what you say. I love what you say. And I'm not saying you per se. I'm talking about women in general. I love what you guys are saying. Women think better than men, okay? You're analytical. You think all the way around, okay? But just don't come at me. Talk to me. Don't talk at me. And I'm so sick of that, okay? That's why I'll listen. I'm going to be respectful, and I'm always going to listen, all right? And then when I have something to say, what's the first thing that a woman does? They cut you off, okay? Because they want to get their thought across, but you never want to let a man get his thought across, all right? So my thing is this, Gina, stay like you are. Don't get me wrong, okay? Stay like you are, because that's beautiful. That's what I love about my sister. She's straight and to the point, except for when we'll talk about that some other time, okay? She's straight to the point. She's hard, but she's soft when she don't need to be soft, okay? Let's put it like that, okay? You got to keep that bulldog attitude with the women too, all right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Bree Barnett says, yes, Miss Gina, you can say things differently to appease them, and it still doesn't get heard. I have not even said today, bitter black woman. I'm not going to say that, okay? Because I don't.
No, you're not.
You just did.
You're not gonna stereotype black women like that. I know you're not gonna say that.
I don't give a damn about stereotyping nobody, okay? But my thing is this: I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not going to. Because my thing is, it's not really, when I say it in my heart, it's not stereotypical.
Okay.
It's what I feel. Okay. I'm not
Okay.
trying to but I would never use that term as a bitter black woman.
Okay.
Because I don't think there is a bitter black woman, but I think there's been women that have been hurt, that have been broken. All right. And again, when you're bitter and not bitter, when you're hurt and broken, all right, you try to once that relationship is over, that previous relationship is over, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. You want to say this will never happen to me again. I'm gonna be strong now. I'm gonna be this and that. And this dude, the N-word, this dude is not gonna do this to me. Okay, he comes in. He's and everybody that their best when they come into this thing. Okay, this guy comes in. He's at his best. Okay, and again, I'm gonna say this again. And it seemed like the only one, even Maurice ain't feeling me on this. Samantha's the only one listening to me, okay? Because the rest of y'all just want to defend.
I just be trying to get my point across.
Okay, there you go. That's my point right there. You got to get your point across, okay? My thing is this. You don't have to get your point across all the time, all right? You don't have to do that. Carl says, have y'all ever told someone that you were not equally yoked and they asked you why? And you say, because your life is raggedy, all right?
Dang. Oh, well.
Man,
my thing is this.
Talking about us.
I mean, it's just the thing that we as men have experienced these things. Okay, I haven't. Look, I've been reading today. Okay, so this is not me all the time. Okay, but I have to, as the moderator, I gotta give y'all all of the sides. Okay, but I do know for a fact that a lot of women, because I don't care. You can be bitter with me and this. I have the right and the power to just walk away. I don't have to be around it. Okay, that's just me. I can walk away and go down the block to the next one. Okay, I'm good. All right. But
no, that sounds terrible.
Ooh, it did.
Oh, like it's a bus to come every 10 minutes.
Every day, there's six, 7 women to every man. Okay, so I'm gonna use all 6 of my chances. All right,
man.
So like you just said, there's a bus that comes around every. Sometimes it's an Uber now. But
there's a hand.
Can I comment on what you just said? When you get done,
go right ahead. When
you get done.
I'm done.
About the bitter and he can just walk away, and I guess and I guess the way it sounds really harsh. Like Carl put up something about not being unequally yoked and all of that kind of stuff. So I guess it comes with maturity when you sense or you know what you don't want. And you know what you do want, and you come across that person, whether it's a man or a woman, and they have not been healed from past hurts, and they are bitter, or they give that off aura of being really bitter, you will choose and say, that's not what I want. And you do need to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been hurt. I'll put it like that. I'm gonna be honest. I've never been hurt in a relationship. I've lost.
You ain't ran up on the wrong run yet.
I ain't gonna run up on them. I'm at my age. I ain't gonna run up on them. I ain't gonna get hurt. I'm good with that. Okay, but I want to enhance someone's life, and I want their life to enhance mine.
And that's what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On both sides.
Y'all quit cutting me off. All these women cut me off.
We got a voice.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
I sit here and I don't say
yes. Throwing salt all over the game.
I want to hear what you're saying.
Go ahead, Greg. This is gonna be your show today. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, Queen Samantha, you're absolutely right. He said it's coming, bro. Hey, Carl, if it come, it come. If it don't, I'm gonna be the forever bachelor. I'm good with that, okay? But my thing is this. Marcy, quit texting. My thing is this. I just and this is personal. This is me. I just want happiness. Now, I'm happy right now. I'm ecstatic, okay? I want somebody that's going to bring more happiness in. Will there be problems? Of course there's going to be disagreements. All right, everything is not perfect, but let's agree to disagree. Let's talk to one another. Let's not talk at one another. I don't do the arguments. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do the arguments. I've been there before with the back and forth the arguments, and I don't want to be the one to say, well, forget it. I'm done. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want to be happy with that person. I want to be Maurice. All right. I want to be happy in my situation where there's things that are going to come up, which is every day, which is every couple, but we together can take care of it. We together can talk it through. All right. As opposed to her saying, well, you ain't this and you ain't that. It never should have happened in the first place. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Okay. That's counterproductive. I'm done.
Only thing I regret about my relationship is that I didn't meet my current wife 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So after that,
you weren't supposed to, Maurice.
I know.
Timing wasn't right.
I know.
Here go Nostradamus.
I opened that up and I was thinking to myself,
you weren't. His first
I got
wife,
4 queens here, and I know what's going to happen.
His first wife got him prepared for the wife he has now. He learned a lot.
For me, thank you.
He learned a lot.
Cliches and
it grew him. It grew him emotionally.
Oh, trust me.
Purple rain and be done with y'all.
You just.
I'm making you hate me tonight. I'm making you hate me.
I never hate you.
Bree hate me.
I never hate you.
And Bree,
I'm gonna set you up on a blind date.
And she will be blind, okay? Because she won't see me. She won't see me. She's gonna stay blind. She will see me.
But listen,
hey, Maurice should be Stevie Wonder up in this joint.
But you know what? What happens if you meet somebody and she's perfect in all other ways, but she talk hard? But she talk hard. Are you prepared then at that point to just love them through that, and maybe love would help you through that, or would you just kind of walk away? She's perfect in every way.
Mm-hmm.
In every way, except she come at you hard or whatever that was you just said.
I ain't doing that. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my life.
That's the point I was making.
Okay, but
that's the point.
But I'm saying, you don't see that as how can I put it? You don't see that as a reason to want to be with somebody, just to work things out to see if you can.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm with Greg on that one. Now, if we didn't agree on anything all night tonight, I agree with him on that. Okay. I ain't trying out nothing. I don't want to. That's time I'm not gonna get back.
That's just something I thought about, because everybody's not perfect.
Right.
Because everybody's not perfect. You gotta.
That's great thoughts with that. That's a great.
But you know what? You got when I was single, my friends they wanted to set me up. They were like, we don't want to see you by yourself. Why? I'm okay by myself. Like if I was upset.
Why y'all can't be with me?
If I was sitting around eating bonbons all day, I need a man, I could see it. But they were like, you need to have some. No, I don't. When I'm ready, I will be ready.
But everybody,
when Greg is ready, he'll be ready.
But everybody
have to get in that mindset.
Don't put me in this, okay?
And I hear what.
Just because Greg is single,
put your finger up, Sam.
Just because Greg is single does not mean that Greg doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Greg, look.
I'm okay. I'm single, but if somebody come to me talking all harsh and no, Suzette, I'm not gonna stick around trying to remake somebody who's already 60 years in the making.
No, I'm not saying to remake. I mean to stick around and so he can remake them. But I'm just saying in every other way, his delivery is wrong. He's got a harsh tone to his voice. He don't mean nothing, but he's got a harsh tone to his voice.
I take that back. And
people can't help.
My father was one of those people who said what he meant meant what he said,
Right.
and when it came out of his mouth, it was
That's
more
what
than
it
likely
was.
going to be harsh.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and it's because I have been remade since. I used to be that person, and I remember having a conversation with God, and it's like I would say what I meant what I said, and if your feelings got hurt, it was too bad. It was tough titty, as they would say back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But because of my faith, and I wanted to be a different person,
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to slow myself down,
That's what
think
I'm saying.
before I speak,
Right.
and it's one thing to say "What you doing, girl?" versus "What you doing, girl."
Thank
It's
you.
those two different same amount, same words, different emphasis at
Different
the
delivery.
beginning or the end of that sentence that can make the world a difference. I
Right.
don't I love you. I love you. Two same words. But it was a learning process.
That's what
It
I'm
was a
saying.
looking at myself on the inside of who I was at the time and who I actually should be. You know what I'm saying? Or that I want to become. So it's a learning process. It's a maturity thing. It's a really taking the mirror out and really looking at your ugly self
Mm-hmm.
and saying, you know what? I
I ain't
need
got
to be
that nerve.
different.
I ain't got no
No, no,
ugly.
no. I'm talking about the ugly self, the
Ugly part.
ugliness that's on the inside of a
Right.
person,
Inside
my
the what?
ugly thinks that I'm doing, or I'm just to let myself just go back. I ain't doing nothing to myself, and I do look ugly. So, but it takes some time to really look at yourself and see, okay, really, really where I'm. Can I say that differently? Because I'm
Hmm.
that person that if I feel like I hurt somebody's feelings, I can't just push it off to the side. Number one, I can't
Mhm. I
sleep.
apologize. Hmm.
So I'm that person that's gonna make a phone call, even if it's that hard phone call, and say, did I offend you? Did I say something to hurt your feelings?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had when I've started new relationships with people, whether I'm working with them and volunteering with them, and I'll tell them if I say something to offend you or hurt your feelings, please get yourself together, get your thoughts together. I'm expecting a phone call.
Hmm. Hey, I wanted to do this though real quick because uh, Maurice is in a relationship. It's a great relationship, and it's a interracial relationship. And I just wanted to ask you, Maurice, in your eyes, what made your relationship good?
What'd you
Great.
say? Go
In
again.
your eyes, what made your relationship great?
What made my relationship great? The frankness and the honesty. I mean, I fell in love. That's and a lot of people say or ask that question was because she was mixed. No, I just fell in love with her. She fell in love with me. You know, and what made it great is that she had she just didn't she just didn't just want to be there for the party or whatever. You know, she was there for me when I was there for her. As we grew together. You know? So a lot of folks thought that this relationship that we started actually when we started out, a couple of my friends was like, man, that ain't gonna last too long because she is very, very, very. She was one of them women that didn't take no crap, to use a nice word. You
Mm.
know,
I'll be using nice words on this
from
show.
nobody,
Mm.
People other than Gina to curse. Come here.
Mm.
from nobody. I mean,
See,
as a matter of fact,
his wife didn't take any crap.
well, they called her.
You take no shit, Maurice.
She didn't take no shit. And a
And he
couple of
loved
friends
it.
even called, that she was a bitchy, kind of bitchy. She
And
wasn't
he
never like that
loved
to
it.
me. Yeah,
You said
she
she was
wasn't.
not like that to you. Is that what you said, Maurice?
No,
What's your point, Gina?
wasn't
Because
like
you
that to
keep
me.
saying that I'm aggressive and I'm this and that. He said his wife was the same. He loved her. He
Hmm.
loved her. That's what
Well, I mean,
attracted her him
Evidently,
to
beside that
her.
point, now,
evidently, his
now
wife
that
was
beside that
awesome,
point,
too.
I did get a bunch of sisters that got upset at me because I was dating a mixed woman.
But evidently, she had an off switch too, Gina. She
Uh,
knew when to turn it on and
Oh,
when to turn it off.
say what?
She knew when to turn it on and turn it off, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, we
Gina ain't
was.
got no off switch. Hers broke.
Whatever.
You flip it on and it's just click, 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 click. Something wrong with it.
Whatever. He just can't take
Uh,
it.
I'm
Greg,
just saying. I'm
Greg
just
can't
saying.
take it.
Me and my wife actually, it was actually it was very cool in my heart the way me and my wife met and got along, and as our friendship and then our relationship developed. It started as a friendship that we didn't think that was going to go past the friendship, to tell you the truth,
Mhm.
you know. And it got deeper and deeper and deeper, and then next thing you know, we was a thing, and we were together for 5 years before we even got married. So,
And it's still going straight.
Awesome.
so
And it's
I mean,
still going great, right?
yeah,
Of
still
course.
going strong. 30 years total.
That's
Oh
and
wow,
that's
that's
Wow.
What's
awesome.
up?
that's a
That's what's
testament
up.
to what basically
25 married, 5 years before.
that sums up basically this whole situation, okay? Because I wanted him to come on because he is in that type of relationship now and married, okay? And it does work, all right? And there may be obstacles, there may be things that go on that may test the marriage, okay?
Oh yeah,
Test,
yeah.
I'm talking about society, family, this and that, okay? But they work through that and it can be done.
And she knows she's a queen. You know what I'm saying? And she knows that I'm the king. Period.
There you go.
And she'll tell you the same thing.
Cree says process,
Mhm.
time heals. So many people can relate to this conversation. I'm sure to help them moving forward. Good points, everyone. Awesome feedback. People are afraid or not sure how to spark up this type of conversation. Maurice, that's a beautiful thing. We're not, and she's right. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. It is taboo in a lot of societies. Okay, but what we like to do here on WTV is test the taboo. We're gonna talk about everything and give our opinions, all right? And no opinion is wrong. Everybody has
It's
their
an opinion.
I'm sorry.
It's an opinion. That's exactly that.
You can have it.
Opinion. And sometimes we try to help, sometimes we don't help, all right? And we never are arguing. Okay, this is what the dynamics of a show is, to have differences, especially this type of show. We want to bring out every single possibility of what the question is, what the topic is, and just bring all sides to it. So everybody that commented, we appreciate you. Bree, Carl, everybody that was afraid. I'm quite sure y'all heard this thing going off today. Okay, a lot of people didn't come on even on here. They just wanted to inbox and say some things. Okay, and I didn't say it because me and Gina was going at it, but I wanted to.
No, you were going at it.
No, you were going at it because you don't listen, woman. All right, hold on, man. Go.
I'm just glad that you my big brother.
Oh, yeah. All day long. All day long. That's never gonna change. All right. But you do, you got yours, and thank God you got yours, and Robert can take it. All right, because
Oh, you mentioning his name. Look at the smile on her face. See?
Well, you know what? One
See
thing,
that?
Robert and I don't argue. That's something I never wanted in my household, was an arguing household. I didn't
Peace.
grow up like that. I never saw my mother and dad argue. And
because Robert
so,
ain't your dude. Robert, the kind of guy that's gonna say what's on his mind,
yeah,
which
he
I've
is.
noticed. And man, look, and
But you can tell that.
me,
But
I'm not gonna
Gina,
look.
you let him be the king too, don't you?
That's right. He is the king.
All right.
And Maurice, you
And
just brought up,
it's
you just
as
brought up the
much as
main point.
people, as much as people want to say that I'm this strong woman, that I'm aggressive, I know my place in a relationship. I know my place in a relationship, and
Go ahead, Greg. Go.
So around
he
Robert,
is
you're
my
a
king.
lamb. You're
He's
a
my
lamb
king.
around. She's a lamb around Robert.
That's her man. That's her king.
I get it. I get
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
He could go right there and
Get the
just
right
tap on
person.
her head.
It's
She just
like,
start
hey,
look. She just start purring like a kitten.
And something came up earlier. And I know we get ready to go off about being a direct person, and I can be a direct person.
I am too.
And
I'm
so,
very
but
direct.
again, back to
But y'all
choosing
are
how I
queens again, like
come,
I said.
how I bring it, how I package it up, And sometimes people don't feel like they need to pack. And I've had people tell me, why I got to do that? Why I got to dress it? Why I got to say it say it a different way? Sometimes you need to, because
But
especially if you're trying to keep a relationship intact.
but you know what?
A minute.
When in the times when I've had to have conversations with Donnell, the only thing the thing I find that helps with conversations with
Stop.
Donnell. Wait a minute, Greg. Listen to this, baby. Listen.
I'm gonna
The only
listen.
thing that I have conversations with Donnell, and sometimes his conversations have to be edited with the truth. With the truth. Sometimes the truth is hard to hear. You don't want to be reminded of something you done did.
True.
You don't want nobody to be telling you about what you did was wrong and you know is wrong.
So
You
stop
already know
doing
that.
it. So why
Huh?
do it if you know that people don't want to hear that? You know, look,
Well, people do it to test you. I think they catch you on a bad day, slip you up on a bad day.
you slip me up on that bad day, I'm gonna walk. I don't argue. I
Well, I'm
leave.
just saying. I'm not saying that you can't walk on everything. You know,
I can.
sometimes. Wait a minute. Sometimes you have to
Oh,
get
Marcus,
yourself in a.
you just got
Sometimes
fingers
you have to
coming up
get
all over
yourself.
the place.
Sometimes you have to get yourself
I had to find
still
it.
to listen and to listen what he has to say, and him listen to what you have to say,
Who is
and then
him?
you're good, huh?
Who is him?
Danielle.
Oh Lord.
He set you up, Suzette. You walked
Yes,
into
he
that.
did. You walked right into it.
Right in there.
I mean, that's all I know. I don't have no bunch of folks. You know. Well,
I always wonder. I always, you know, and hey, Simply Suzette is going to be a great show. Okay, but I always wonder, out of everything we talk about, we hear Donnell's name about 30 times on this
I'm
show.
glad you know it, honey. And you say it.
We know.
Say it to
We
know it.
know.
He is
You
happy.
need somebody to know.
He the
That's my
king.
man.
He is
That's my
happy.
He the
man.
king.
You
He
gonna
the
say it,
king.
say it 'cause you know it.
Maurice,
That's my man.
stop.
He the king.
Stop
You
feeding
got
it
that
to him,
right.
Maurice.
We got a crown one for every day of the week.
We know
Keep
how to
going.
spell his name. We know how to say his name. If the
You got a
pronunciation is
used car
wrong,
lot
we
in
can
the back
get
of the house. He the
corrected.
boss to make cars. He got a car lot.
He the
Donnell probably
king.
got a car lot. He got a car
You know
lot.
what I told him? Go ahead on,
Oh my
Danielle.
goodness, y'all too
Okay,
funny.
Marcel.
Woo.
Not sure we will.
Cause
Wait a
I
minute,
ain't
I'm trying to
saying
find my hand.
what's
Ooh,
his
wait a
name?
minute, there it is, right
What's
there.
his name? Say his name. Say his
I'm
name.
find it.
What's his name? Danielle.
I don't even use that's my middle name. I don't even use it. No
Oh,
more. I don't even use it no more.
You done got tired of it, Greg.
call him
I'm
Mr.
way tired
Ashford.
of it.
Call
We
him
get on the show
Mr.
tomorrow.
Ashford.
You know, we get on.
Whenever I call,
Oh,
We could be on the show
whenever,
tomorrow.
I know you want to hear it. Whenever I call him, he never call me Susan. I say, hey, baby. I'm either baby or sweetheart.
We could be on the show tomorrow talking about birds in flight. She's gonna be like, you know, Donnell had a whole coop of pigeons.
Show did. Show
And
God
I'm
did.
just saying, you
You
know, but
better
it's all
get it
good. And,
together. You better know that.
hey, Suzette, that's a beautiful thing. You know, I
It
kid
is
you a lot,
beautiful
but
because
it's
I was in
beautiful
some
thing.
shit for like
Marcy,
23
what
years.
the hell? What?
I can talk about
Marcy,
him.
what? Hold on, Suzette. Marcella, it's the floor is yours.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of in agreement with what Greg said that sometimes you have to
Get
walk
out of here. Let
away.
me get off of here. Go ahead.
No, and the reason why, boy, whatever.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
the reason why is like we've all stated, we like peace. And I'm the type of person, I don't like to raise my voice. I don't like
Right.
to argue.
Right.
And I will tell, like, say, if I get into a relationship, I'll tell you at the beginning, I don't like to argue.
Right.
It's okay to disagree.
Mhm.
We can have a discussion,
Mhm.
but if the profanity starts coming in, the raising of voices, and I'll let the guy know at the beginning of a relationship, what I normally do is say, conversation is over. We need to go into our separate corners, woosah, get it together, and we can come back, to this.
So you telling
And
them
I
what to
don't,
do.
no, I just tell them that's what I do.
You just said, I tell him.
This is how I am.
Over.
No, this is how I
Don't
am.
do that to me.
I tell him that this is how I am. And if you choose to continue to want to argue or something like that, either I'm just going to walk away and then I'll be done with the conversation. And I've had someone who used to like to argue and would come straight in the middle in my face and raising their voice. And they realize I can tune you out when you're right here in my face and I will not see you or hear you. And the person looked at me like, wait a minute, are you even here?
Gina?
And I won't even answer because I'm not going to, if we're arguing and screaming, we don't hear each other.
Gina,
We're not getting anywhere. So okay, right there. And that's too close to me, but I'm just saying I can tune you out really quick. I'm not going to sit there and argue. I'm not going to continue arguing and raising my voice.
You go like this. That's how you tune them out.
I'll tell you though. You talking about when you talk about this, what you anybody I met, they always talking about, oh, I don't like no woman makeup. Well, listen, let me tell you something. You don't like makeup, let me tell you, bye-bye. Because I do makeup. If you can't pass me my wig, if you can't pass me my eyeglasses and my lipstick, you're gone.
That's different
That's a
from
Man,
good.
someone
on that
trying to
note,
argue and disturbing your
on that
peace
note,
and stressing you out. That's makeup does have it has nothing to do with being stressed out, being screamed at, or being cursed. That's a whole different ball game. I just choose not to. I don't like to argue. We could have a good conversation and still be disagreeing, but you're not going to be cursing at me. You're not going to
Yeah,
call me out my name. You're not going to disrespect me, and you're not going to be screaming at me.
this
If
is true.
we're in the same room, we can hear each other. There's no reason to be raising your voice and because sometimes that becomes violent. I've not had to really deal with a violent relationship. I'm not going to deal with a violent relationship.
and we're gonna end it with
I
that.
Does
know my
anybody
value. I know
We're
who
gonna
I
end it
am,
with
and
that.
I'm not going to deal with that.
We're
But
gonna end it
anybody
before
want
we
to
end,
and we're gonna end it with that. Hold on.
I got my
Hold on.
purple
She
rain.
got the whole gallon. Look
Wait,
at
how
that.
Uh-oh.
much is the gallon?
She got the whole gallon.
I
We'll
have
tell you out there.
What's that?
sunset.
She got the whole gallon.
Passion
I
is
got the
very good.
whole gallon. And my
Have you
family
tasted
likes
it,
it.
Suzette? Have you
what do
tasted
I got to
it?
do? Come to Gary to get
My
some?
family
No,
likes
no,
it.
you go on the dam in the bottle and order that. Okay.
Yep.
Eddie
Oh,
Melton.
the link that you put in it. Yeah, okay, I know.
Eddie
Yeah.
Melton got 2 cases.
What's
Put
a
it in his
case?
car, and I can't tell y'all what he did with it. Okay, but I had like 6, 7 of them. Then people came over and they wanted to taste it, and everybody said, "Damn!" I mean, Maurice Tree says she'll be in touch. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, this is some good drink, y'all. Okay, this is a great.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna push this national. I got some ideas. I've been thinking about some stuff today.
Me too.
And I
Have
got.
the commercial ready, Greg,
Oh,
please.
look! Check this out. Check this
Please.
out. Check this out.
And then put it on the end of every dope living
I'm
show.
gonna put it in the
No,
middle
it's
too,
it's
at
it's
the top of
airing
the hour.
on Distinguished Authors Guild Literary Award Show.
But check this out.
Tickets
Look at
too.
this concept, y'all. Okay, y'all remember Boys in the Hood?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Boys in the Hood? The one where
Or
Bill,
Juice.
no, Bill Duke was in there, right? Juice would be good because it's juice. Okay. Good, Gina. You remember when the guy was like got arrested and Bill Duke was on one end. He said, "You messed up now." I'm gonna use the word messed up. I ain't gonna say. And it was a dark room, spotlight in the middle. You messed up now, right? You messed up, right? I've already done it, but I got to redo it. I had me on one end of the table, and me on the other side of the table. Okay, and right in the
Really,
middle,
Eddie Murphy.
where that light comes down, is a bottle of Treese
Very sweet
drinks.
trees.
Okay? And so I'm sitting at the one end of the table. I got a suit and tie on. You messed up now, right? And I'm on the other end. I'm like tapping the table, and as I'm tapping the table, the drink comes my way. It just comes my way. So I go back to the Bill Duke character saying a couple of more things. Then I'm here, and the drink is almost at me, and he's talking about this and that. I saw you, blah blah blah, this blah blah blah. And then I finally got the drink, and then I drink it, and you look across the table, and there's a puff of smoke. Got rid of him, okay? Because I'm enjoying my purple rain from Trees Sweet Drinks. Y'all, come on, give me a hand on that one. Come on, give me a hand on that one. I got some other, but I was working on that when I said I got me on each end, and bam, it's a dark room, sitting at a table, light right there in the middle. It's dark on this end, dark on that end. All you see is the faces. Shirt and tie on the other one, just the other one, real nervous. But anyway,
We got a song called "Damn."
Hey, look, make a song up. Tell you guys.
No, it's already it's an older song. I mean, I said it. You can edit it up or whatever.
But I said
You need a jingle
Juice.
about that? You need a jingle written?
You didn't see me pull my keyboard out a couple of times, did you?
I got one too.
Yeah, and you didn't see me pull my garage band out a couple of times too. I'm working on all of this stuff, okay? Because we need to make sure. I'm sorry, this has to go national. And thank you for that article on YouTube or whatever it was that you sent. That should have inspired everybody. All right, but everybody, don't forget Distinguished Authors Guild is coming up in November. Okay, she's got Miss Arkansas as a comedian, and Barbados artist Ruby Tech will be singing, okay, and doing his thing, okay. It's gonna be a beautiful thing the way that we're gonna make this happen. All right, so y'all check that out. Please, Suzette, I'm gonna need you to host this show. Dope Living TV Live a couple of times. All right, I'm gonna sit back and chill. Just want to make sure that Simply Suzette is ready, because I'm about ready to get ready to be ready. All right, Samantha J, thank you so much for all of your agreement with Greg. I appreciate you. All right.
I like Samantha. I never told that before. for? I like Samantha. I like all y'all, but it's Samantha.
Maurice, I'm so glad that you were here today to express the not only the interracial part of it, okay, but the love that can be had from just finding someone, not necessarily colors, to be in love with.
I just, like I said earlier, it kind of like the rest of the world got tuned out. So I mean, we loved each other. And that's it. Whatever was going on around us didn't even freaking matter. You know what I'm saying?
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
That's love. That's love.
No matter what the race, creed, or color.
I left Marcel and Gina to the side, okay, because they just argumentative. They just want to be that.
Y'all my sisters. Y'all the queens.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They just want to be against everything I say, which is cool. You know,
I agree with you, Gregory.
I didn't.
She said Gregory.
I did. I have
didn't.
to call him that sometimes.
Hey, she said at the end of the show, okay, she agreed with me.
I did. Didn't I agree? And he went out. He turned off your picture.
Yeah, I heard you, Gina. There was a just like I found StreamYard. There's this other platform called Melon.
MELLN.
MELON. It's a little different, but I'm looking at it now. They're a little different, and they say they're a little bit better than StreamYard, but the amenities are a little bit worse. Like they only allow 6 people on at a time. And if you get the Pro, there's 9 people at a time, up to 10 hours of recordings, which is not necessary for anybody. All right. So I stick with StreamYard. Anyway, man, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Okay, everybody go out there and get y'all core drinks. Okay, it's naturally pH balanced, purified water. Okay, and they're doing their part for the good environment with this bottle that's made from 100% recyclable plastic. Okay, you throw it away, it'll come back as something else. Is that how it works? And make sure y'all go out and order it. www.thedaminthe.bottle. It's Trees Sweet drinks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Okay, this is Dope Living TV Live. I love my panel, okay, because we are diverse, we are great, and we are here for you. I didn't even play this living interracial video that I had.
Skip it.
Hey, the conversation here is good. We real, okay? So here's what it is, all right? Thanks, Ujima, for tuning in. Jeff Rutherford, life coach, for tuning in, and everybody out there. We will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I hope they agree with me.
We'll have to agree with you.
I need love, and I did this show today, y'all. Just so my panel will know, I'm very ill right now. I don't feel good at all, but I had to push through because you guys are family, and we owe it to the people to continue to do what we do. So,
I'm sorry for beating up on you. Then I feel bad.
No, don't never feel bad for beating up on me because I can take it. I ain't that in y'all. All right, I can take it. All right. I got my brother Maurice always got my back, so it is what it is. All right. On behalf of the show, everybody, look, we'll see you guys tomorrow. DopelivenTV Live. Y'all tune in tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We got more. All right. Peace.